live on YouTube. Out of Michaelides. So that means we are near the end of the UFC 268 prelims, which means it's time for our live UFC 268 live coverage for the main card right here on Combat Culture. I am the person in charge of yelling for the evening, Matt Ryan, but joining me across the continent tonight, we don't have Brendan Sokler. He is in Miami doing actory things, but up in the van, right in Scan, BC country, Shakiel Mahjouri. Shaq, how are you?
I'm good, living that true, woke libtard life, neckbeard in full, because I just could not be bothered today. But I'm so happy. UFC 268 stacked card.
Oh, we're gonna bring that up a little later on in the program. I was iggy'd earlier in the week about a certain thing written about me and your boy Shaq. We'll hopefully, we saw that. But, it got taken off the internet, so it's a shame. But also joining us on the other side of the glass, it is the lovely and the talented Stephanie Sotilli, making sure everything works on the chat function. She is our internet person for the evening. Hi, Steph.
Hello. Trying to make sure bits are also not ruined.
They don't know anything. But joining us all night will be Steph and also Shaq joining me tonight for a card that is pretty banana pants. And it looks like Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler is going to start the main card. That's
so exciting.
That's weird to me. That's an interesting move because you also have Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo. Yeah. You have Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera.
So there's rhyme to reason there. Sorry.
Yeah, there's got the rhythm. You start off with the hot opener. It's pro wrestling logic.
Well, actually, if I may, and maybe that had something to do with it, but what happened was I know you're just about to mention the co-main and main, which is Rose Namajunas versus Zheng Weili, and then the main event, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. Trevor Whitman is the coach for Kamaru, Rose, and Justin, and so he did not have time to be with each fighter before the next one got into their fight. So I think they had requested that Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler be moved up to give Trevor Whitman enough breathing room to coach Justin, get back there, prep Rose, prep Kamaru.
So you know what that means, folks? You're going to be hearing a lot of us try to make time tonight as Trevor Whitman tries to get his collective S together. But please let us know. We've got Richie Rich typing South Sudan about 15 times. Shout out to South Sudan. We got people from Texas. Let us know where you are tonight. Let us know where you're watching us from, if you're watching the fights, and who you got in the fights. We will be in a little bit going over who is going to get closest to the hole, which means what time do the first fights of the main card walk out. And, well, I have an odd feeling it's going to be a really quick start tonight for some people. But we got Only If You Knew from Cali. Shaq, what are your feelings on tonight's fight? Which fight are you most excited to see? Which fight do you feel like is going to surprise a lot of people?
There's so much meat to this card, and that's what makes it so much fun. And this is the thing. When we get spoiled like this, and as people who have to cover the fights week in, week out, it's no wonder we get lethargic when you get some of the UFC Vegas cards that we got. But our hard work is being rewarded. I think it's hard to vote against the train wreck that's going to be Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler for as long as it lasts. But I do like rivalry. I like storytelling. So there's so much to like, right? Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, there's a grudge. I think Kamaru Usman has shown how much he's improved. I don't think we've quite seen it from Colby Covington in practice or in execution. So I'd really like to see where they're at, if Colby is still that guy who could come just this close to beating Kamaru or not. I'm going to say Kamaru Colby just because I'm going to be holding my breath because that this rivalry is just going to get worse if Colby Covington comes out with a win. And as much as I don't want to see the guy get a dub, there's going to be a lot at stake there for a lot of people. So that'll be my top pick, but no disagreement if you want to pick Rose versus Zhang. If it's not a quick KO, it's going to be a war. No disrespect if you pick Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. And it's funny because something like Billy Q versus Shane Burgos could have fight of the night on it. So that just goes to show how stacked this main card is that I can't even give that one much thought in comparison to what else is on the main card.
Yeah, and we got people checking in the chat. We got Silver and Black 831 from Monterey Bay. Lucky boy rooting for Colby. We've got people from the 209. We got Carl from Denmark. Got Stewie from the 209 Stockton, California. People from all across the country, all across the world watching us tonight. Thizzle Mac says Weili taking back the belt tonight. Kelleher saying Rose is bigger and hits harder than all these ladies. Only if you knew saying Michael better shoot for the legs and end it. That's going to be the interesting one here, is how long it takes until Michael Chandler tries to take this fight to the ground against a guy in Justin Gaethje, who will try to steal Michael Chandler's soul inside Madison Square Garden. But Chandler, I believe, has fought in Madison Square Garden before for Bellator. So this is, I believe he was on one of the New York cards. I could be wrong about that because I'm wrong about a lot of things. But it's an interesting situation to start the main card of a pay-per-view in Madison Square Garden with a potential title shot on the line. I was talking with somebody yesterday about this fight, and it's like the winner's got to get a shot at the 155-pound title. So it's only a matter of time until we see that happen. The winner of this fight being next in line for the UFC lightweight title. Stephen Kelleher saying Chandler's chin is weak. Lucas 0073 from Sydney, Australia. We've got Sleepy Times Capo from Chicago. Got AJ from Boston. Thank you so much, AJ. Call me his favorite UFC fight host. Yeah, it's very sweet of you. Lucky Boy saying Chandler knocks out Justin within 2. That's
yeah. So
that's for a situation where I don't think Justin Gaethje's been knocked out twice.
That's the separator for me, right? It's the chin. Yeah. I'm not convinced that Michael Chandler has the chin that Justin Gaethje has. And if you were to match up like World Series of Fighting Justin Gaethje versus Bellator Michael Chandler, I might pick Michael Chandler. As well-rounded and pressure-heavy as Michael Chandler is, and he's a top-flight athlete. He came this close to winning the UFC lightweight title. In a battle where, if this was slap fighting where you're going shot for shot, I think Michael Chandler is more hittable. I don't think he has quite the chin Justin Gaethje has. If the power is equal, which I think it is relatively speaking, I just think Justin Gaethje is able to absorb more. But this is the kind of fight where if one guy lands that right shot, it could be game over. So Michael Chandler is in this, no doubt. But if you're giving it, if you're asking me who's going to win more times than not, I think it's got to be Justin Gaethje. Yeah,
Josh White says Chandler's going to submit him in round 3. That's a interesting
one on the over one. There. Wow, you think it's going to last more than 10 minutes? I hope you're right, because, man, people are asking me, is this going to be fight of the year? No. Is it going to be round of the year? Entirely likely. So if this goes 3 rounds of what we hope one round will look like, I'll be over the moon.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one. A lot of people saying Justin's going to bomb him out. And also, this fight, this card tonight inside Madison Square Garden, of a building known for great fights. There's never been a UFC card in Madison Square Garden that's been disappointing. The closest thing, probably the BMF title fight back in 2019, but this is a fight card built for Madison Square Garden, built for New York fight fans. It's something that I'm excited to see tonight. And you got Frankie Edgar on the card against Marlon Vera in what was initially supposed to start the card. And Frankie lost 3 of his last 4, recently getting knocked out by Corey Sandhagen, who may or may not have been robbed last week on ESPN Plus. Some people might be thinking that Corey Sandhagen got hosed, but that's just one man's opinion. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Edgar, someone who more than likely should be considering retirement or going into triad fighting. Have you heard about triad fights yet?
Don't get me, man. I don't know. I respect Triller the same way I respect anti-vaxxers, where it's like, man, you are committed to your volition. Do I like what you're doing? Not at all. Do I think there's any place for it in this world? No.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I love it for the same reason I love really terrible professional wrestling. Yeah. Because you're taking a chance and there's going to be levels of ridiculousness. Like Mike Perry fighting in a triangle ring gives me an ungodly amount of joy.
You know who does it right? Oh, sorry, please.
No. I think Vitor, they're looking to get Vitor in the main event of that. So
I still have a bad taste in my mouth about that Evander Holyfield fight. I'm so glad we didn't do a watch along for that one. You know who does bullshit combat sports events, right? Fight circus. They quite literally had 2 women fighting in a phone booth. If you're gonna, like that Canadian dude from Ultimate Fight Challenge said, if you're coming on, then come on. If you're gonna do it right. Fight Circus knows exactly how to cater to this market, and I think Triller's still trying too hard to get like real fighters. I don't need Mike Pitt. I just get me 2 guys off the street.
Dude, I want to shout out PJ Simpson for donating $20 to the car, $20 to the cause. Brian Bruce saying, "Don't think Perry knows what a triangle is." Mwah, 10 out of 10. Best comment of the night so far. I want Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship also has a card tonight in upstate New York. Mm-hmm. And for me, there was a fighter who had to pull from the card today because he won an eating competition and got sick. That's awesome. This truly is the sport of kings. Yes. And I am so grateful that we live in a world where we get paid to talk about this. Guardian Angel saying Kazmat's the hungriest and wants to eat him all. He's from last week. And Colby Covington walking in with an NYPD hat that he bought at Port Authority, staring into the camera, walking in like the coolest insurance agent at a club in Miami who may or may not be on substances in our main event tonight. Now, Amir IB saying cream of the crop. We quoting superstar Billy Graham tonight? I'm good for it. I'm ready to lean with it and rock with it on that.
You know, I'm not the most fashion forward person. I'd like to think I can clean up nicely when I need to. Kamaru's fit. All these fighters fits. Like, am I getting it wrong? Is fashion in 2021, or is it just who can look the most outrageous and outlandish?
Fashion's always been about who looks the most outrageous. Like that's the idea of style. It's also in a way to accentuate your personality. And this is way athletes are able to do that. What they wear to and from the arena kind of allows you to get an understanding of who they are. Sorry for being a media scientist.
No,
Steph.
I like it.
Kim Kardashian wore that entire black suit to the Met thing. She's a waste of space.
Hey!
Amazing. Well, I would love to be a pro fighter at the top of the game because that's the kind of BDE you can walk into any room wearing anything as much or as little as you want, and no one's gonna say anything. Yeah, you are unrivaled and unequaled.
Checking in on the instant feedback, Charlene Cernagal. Thank you, Cernagle. Thank you so much, Charlene, for joining us every show. They thought it was the Met. You know what? That's true. She gets it. You hear me? I hear me. Shout out to Hamazed Yusufan saying I'm his favorite YouTube commentator. Well, thank you. We're getting ready here for the 5-card UFC 268. It's like my favorite arena in the world, Madison Square Garden. Let us know where your favorite fight venue in the world is in the chat below. Shaq, you got one?
I've been to Madison Square Garden once. I had the privilege of being there for UFC 244, Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz. Let me say this. Iconic venue. Wow, what a treat it is to walk in there. Only live UFC event I've ever covered. I'm being so privileged right now that did not have catering for media. You got tickets to go get like the sandwiches in the food court.
You know what? I'd rather that. Weirdly enough, Nassau Coliseum for a Bellator show, the best, I think, fight night food I've ever had. Like I've covered baseball, hockey. I've covered my fair share of sporting events, but MSG allowing you just here's a voucher, go get whatever you want. I feel like that just works. And also it is a very MSG thing to do. The checking in on the chat, Brian Bruce saying MSG is the top. I'm a New Yorker. What am I going to say? Nassau Coliseum. Fair enough. Well, yeah. But the Nassau Coliseum's a dump. Like it is the worst venue I have ever watched anything in. And I've been to the Izod Center. Like I've been to every New York arena. And that one is it's the dirt worst. The seats were like bad airline seats. It was like I was flying Spirit Airways the entire hockey game.
Oh my God. And I do just want to apologize quickly. If you guys see me staring away from Matt, it's not because he smells bad. It's just I'm technically producing tonight. So I'm trying to get up graphs and tweet things and stay focused here. So I am pulling double duty tonight. Happy to do so. Happy to get my shine now that Brendan's out of my way. Taking everything I worked for, motherfucker.
Jesus,
yes, no,
stealing heat.
Love
PJ Simpson in the chat, worse than Shea. No, I loved Shea Stadium, except in the summer. I baked once at a Met Arizona Diamondbacks afternoon game in August. That was a bad place to be. That was a bad time. Stephen Kelleher saying the old Arco Arena. Oof, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a barn. Just every sports venue built before like 1965 is built like a barn, like a really weirdly shaped barn. Checking in on the chat, Malik Holmes saying, I'm only second to Rogan in commentating, but I'm first in giving medical advice. Charlene in the chat saying, we miss Brendan. Is Shaq drinking tonight? Shaq, you don't drink.
I don't drink on these because I'm already about to pass out from exhaustion by the time we start. Though, okay. At some point, when you think it's appropriate, I do need to go top up my water. I can go hunt down a beer or something.
Go at your own pace. I don't pressure anybody.
No, I'm happy to. I don't know. Trying to stay slim and sexy for no one.
I am having vodka right now.
Okay. Are you good to take over then? If I go grab myself some water and some beer?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll be RB.
And you can be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're joining us for the first time. That was Shakiel Mahjouri. I'm Matt Ryan. Brendan Sokler usually sits to the left of me. And on the other side of the invisible glass is Stephanie Sotilli. Steph, how you doing tonight?
A-okay.
Fantastic.
I don't know if they can hear me.
They probably can.
Repeats, my best lines only to them.
I certainly will. And we got a live shot right now of Madison Square Garden. It will be Joe Rogan calling the action tonight on the other broadcast. John Anik joining him, and I believe Paul Felder. Oh no, saying slim and sexy for no one. True that. Only if you knew, saying they can hear you, Steph. And John Anik looking dapper tonight, not looking like he shops at Target like me. But that's not a bad thing. Let us know in the chat what fight you're looking most forward to tonight, what your predictions are, and also where you're from. We'll give you a shout out throughout the night, whether you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or even on Twitch. We're going to be watching with you all night long. Steph in the chat to let you know who's won, who's lost, and also if you need to get caught up, refresh the page, check the description below, and we'll have that for you too. It's going to be a fun time tonight. Daniel Cormier, the third man in the booth for that. Taking a look at the chat.
Yeah, when did those bowling balls grow arms and legs? Scary shit.
Malik Holmes from North Carolina saying, do you think Colby tries to wrestle? I wouldn't be surprised if he does it, if he tries it. He's got to protect his chin. He's got to keep his hands from going down. I believe he's been practicing a lot of jiu-jitsu in the time between signing for this fight and getting into the octagon tonight. He's going to definitely need as much time on the ground as possible to try to just hold and contain Kamaru Usman. And we're seeing highlights now of their first fight. And Covington had a good showing, but just Kamaru Usman had some power in his hands and was able to catch and capture Colby Covington, knocking him down a multitude of times back in December of 2019. Amir IB saying, looking forward to Jawbreak 2. We've got Dustin from New Mexico, Tom 5150 from Dubai, joining us from one of the islands on top, next to like the Thousand Islands one, the one that's shaped like a palm tree, or one of the other ones.
Has Steph gone already on her time?
Oh no, it is time to play our favorite game show. Closest to the hole, I believe. Steph, you won last time, right?
And remember, Steph, you can have Matt go last.
You can pick the batting order tonight.
Well, there's only 3 of us.
Yes.
It won't take long. So I don't know there's to be that much thought into an order.
But Steph, what do you got? What do you got for us? What time do you think?
Again, it's the first
fighter to walk through the curtain and step into the octagon.
10:16.
All right, 10:16. Shaq, what time do you have?
What number do I have? I'm gonna go 10:15.
All right. Well, 10-16, 10-15. I'm going to take 10-17. 10-17 is my time. Charlene with 7-14. Brian Bruce also with 10-17. Roman Antolin III saying live stream, more like boring podcast. Eat shit. How about you go fuck your mother? How about you go do that? How about you go do that? Go commit what you want to do more than anything in your life, and that's incest, and have a lovely evening.
Or his dad. We support all of
Yes.
this. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Checking in at Charlene saying 10-14. Tom Clausen saying 10-13 or 9-13 Central Standard Time. Stephen Carosa saying the Trevor Whitman effect will bring it home for Kamaru. And as we said before, Trevor Whitman will be in 3 fights tonight, including our opener, Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. Ooh, Shaq's got a Stella Artois.
I got a sponsor.
I will drink nothing but Stella Artois for the rest of my life if they give me money. If they give me enough money.
So Matt,
and it's not really. What was that?
No, you please defend Stella Artois some more.
Cameron White saying 10-15. Charlene cheersing us. Life of VP Explorer saying 10-20. And if you're playing along and you like having fun with us, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are doing these every UFC pay-per-view, so you will see us at UFC 269, 270, and again and again and again and again until they fire me because I'm on borrowed time at this point.
I was gonna say it was a ballsy pick from you, Matt, because you could have gone 10-59. You could have said anything you wanted because it's closest without going over.
Yeah.
But I'll be rooting for a wash if nothing else.
Taliford Wynn saying 10-19. Ewar 3 from Myrtle Beach saying thanks for the watch along. Thank you for watching us. That's the cool thing is that I get to watch the fights with Shaq, with Steph, and Olive the fat baby who's asleep in the other room. And I get to watch it with you guys and also get paid for it. It's not a bad gig. Not a bad gig at all. DHKZ says this podcast sucks. It's not a podcast. This is like, yes, it's two drunks talking into a camera, but that doesn't necessitate a podcast. Really? It is a podcast. That's what a podcast is? Oh, fuck me. Heat Rider saying with that said, rooting for Usman. Silver and Black 831. Shark Sting, Shaq Sting, Bohemian Rhapsody for us.
I'll take it. You know what? Freddie Mercury did well for himself. So.
Yeah, he did. If you get a movie made after you, it's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. For his case, it was a really good thing. Mark Marabello, you guys are great. Saving me a bundle. How do you send a donation? Well, you could donate to the super chat by clicking the $ button in the chat. Sure, I don't get that money now, but at some point, I think I get a piece of that money. I don't. Got to check that with my accountant. It's the dog. Tiffany Shriver, I'd rather support you guys than buy the pay-per-view. Well, thank you. Tom 5150, thank you for that. Faux Sushi says go Iron Mike. Michael Chandler say Mike Tyson does a shoot run-in. You know what? I can retire happy. PHC from Tel Aviv, thank you so much for watching us. Shabbat shalom to you, sir.
Man, but I really enjoyed the Michael Chandler COVID saga in the lead up to this fight because it was like, and I talked to Michael Chandler. I've had nothing but positive interactions with Michael Chandler. And there was initially some concern that this fight wouldn't happen because of MSG's like mandates for getting into venues and stuff like that. I don't really know what's going on in New York. But Michael Chandler said,
fucking chaos.
I'm going to hold off until I see some FDA approval. And the FDA approval came and people like, yo, we really, really want to see this fight. Are you going to get vaccinated?
Yo, my dude, like, do the gimmick.
Like, no.
USADA won't pop you for it. We swear to God. Just do the thing. Checking in on the chat, Tiffany Shriver, donating $4.99 to the cause. Money well spent. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Charlene asking an important question. What's our subscriber goal tonight? Shaq, you're usually in charge of that.
Yes. We're going for modest, semi-modest. I feel like we can get there. 134,500. We are currently at 133,933. So we're looking for we got 550 roughly.
And we got 523 humans right here, right now. If you are watching us for the first time or you watch us all the time and you're not subscribed yet, Just hit the button. Takes 2 seconds. Doesn't cost you a thing.
Did you catch the pre-fight press conference, Matt, at all? We have a highlights compilation over at Combat Culture. If you got 8 minutes of your time, anyone?
Do it after the fights.
Yes.
Do not look away from this face unless I go to the bathroom until at least 1 a.m.
So
that's for everybody here.
It wasn't as racist as the lead up to their first fight, which I enjoyed.
That's good.
Colby this time decided to really lean into Kamaru's father's prison stint. And
oh, good. Yeah, I remember that.
Which is great.
I remember that.
The best line of the night might have been, there's 2. Kamaru Usman, someone's asking, I think it was like Chad Ochocinco's buddy. He's like, hey, man, Chad bet on Jorge last time. Big mistake. He's going to bet on you this time, but just for final confirmation, why should he? And Kamaru drops some Wesley Snipes line about how you always bet on black. And Colby goes, that sounds pretty racist to me. Kamaru goes, oh, you would know. That was a good one. And the best one, man. For the whole hour, Colby kept digging into Kamaru's dad and his time in prison. And Kamaru looks over at Colby's father and says, man, I have nothing but respect for Colby's dad, but I can just see how disappointed he is in his son and this gimmick that he is portraying for himself. I can see the shame on his face, and I'm like, oh, you could just see Colby get quiet for a little while. I was like,
that's like at the beginning of Method Man by Method Man on the first Wu-Tang album. He just sewed his asshole closed and kept feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. And speaking of feeding, feed my goal of attention. Wake up! Exclamation point saying, are you drunk? Not yet. Real dirty saying picograms. Good callback. DHKC saying go back to the Hangover movie. It's an insult that you're comparing me to a millionaire. That's a little depressing. Brian Bruce says, I was at the first UFC MSG card. Took years to pay that off. Absurdly expensive. Well, yeah. Yeesh. William Stalvey saying, what up, Matt? Hey. The MF Brown 5518. Don't want to look at your face. Well, sorry. That's sad for you. Checking into the chat.
Wait. Michael Chandler.
It is 10:15. 10:15, and Michael Chandler has come out. Steph is closest to the hole. Steph wins.
Wait, what did Steph say?
What did you say? 10:17?
Because I was a minute before. I was a minute before Steph.
Also, Shaq wins. You had 10:16. You had 10:17. He had 10:16. So it's 10:15. No, it's the closest without going over. He had 16. You had 17.
I had 6.
You had 16. You had 7. You had 15. I had 7.
It's 15 right now. So
yeah,
I'm
Shaq
on the
win.
money, right?
Yeah, you're on the money.
All right, sweet. Look at that.
Yeah.
Two-time champ. Steph, listen. I respect you. It's not about which one of us wins. It's about the fact that Matt lost.
It's fair.
It's fair. And I promise you next time, you're getting to go second. Or first. I might even let you go first.
Taking a look here at the chat. Shout out to Mohammed in Morocco. We've got George Casimas in the chat saying Steph was robbed. Fair play. We're playing with the rules fast and loose in a game that we made up on the fly a couple of months ago. Janice Perea saying Ryan's hair is looking especially majestic tonight. Same. Thank you. Thank you for that. It's all just fruits and berries and washing it once a month. Michael Chandler walking into the cage right now. Brian Bruce said the UFC charged you $150 if you wanted an actual physical ticket for the first MSG card. What a fucking carny scheme that is.
Man, if I may ask, do you want to take the lead today on throwing off some stats for the folks? Or should I? And just let me know.
That should certainly be you because I have like 85 things on my screen right now.
Then I can do that. Is now the time? Is later the time? When do you want to get to that?
Well, let's take a look at it. You know, Charles Oliveira dropped Michael Chandler, dropped his ass a couple of months ago. That ended a 3-fight winning streak for him where he got KO and TKO, including his UFC debut against Dan Hooker, where he got the TKO win. A 3-time Bellator lightweight champion is Michael Chandler. And if you saw his work in Bellator, you had to be surprised that he waited that long to go to the UFC. I would have waited until after that first Pitbull fight. I would have been like, yep, I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, we got a good setup here going for this fight. Where's my webcam? Let me say hi to the folks. Similar experience, 22-3 for Gaethje, 22-6 for Michael Chandler. Gaethje's got the 3-inch height advantage. Chandler, 1-inch reach advantage, working on that wingspan. Gaethje is 3 years the elder. Okay, let's look at some significant strikes. So keep in mind, Michael Chandler's had 2 fights in the UFC. The first one went under a round. The second one, 2 rounds against Oliveira. So not a whole lot of data compared to Gaethje, who's gone 5 rounds with the likes of Tony Ferguson and long fights with Poirier and Alvarez. Gaethje, 7.45 strikes landed per minute versus 4.49 for Michael Chandler. 59% striking accuracy favors Gaethje over Iron Mike. Strikes absorbed. Okay, here's Gaethje, right? Not only does he have a high output of over 7 strikes per minute, he takes just under 8 strikes per minute to the dome. That's gotten better. I think a lot of that has to do with his early run, those wars with Michael Johnson, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier. He's learned to take care of this moneymaker right here, but that wasn't always the case. Takedown defense, 55% for Gaethje versus 49% for Chandler. Justin Gaethje, who's got a great wrestling pedigree. Remember, he has an average of 0 takedowns per 15-minute fight versus Michael Chandler's 2.03. Takedown accuracy, 0 for Gaethje. Takedown defense, a sexy 69%. And no submission attempts per 15 minutes. So, will Gaethje grapple? No.
No. But thank you to Marathon Refrigeration for donating $2 Canadian, as said before by Shaq. Gaethje 32, Chandler 35. Gaethje with a 5'11", a 5'8" height advantage, both coming in at 155 pounds, half pound heavier is Gaethje, and there's that 1.5-inch reach advantage that Shaq was talking about earlier. Michael Chandler with a 71.5-inch wingspan, 70 for Justin Gaethje. Bruce Buffer changed jackets. I think he was wearing, because he couldn't do UFC 267 last week, so he wore his 267 suit in the prelims and then switched to his 268 jacket, which looks like my grandmother's velvet wallpaper from the late 1980s. And I have to say 10 out of 10. Good job again by Bruce Buffer. Checking into the chat here. Tyler Jurgen saying Zhang wasn't even knocked out. I don't know about that.
Listen, MMA fans love to watch people's brains get mushed into paste.
Yes. A knockout's not a knockout unless someone's being taken out in a stretcher. And Chandler really, really happy to show his fist, or that he's fighting for the UFC, because he was doing this while he was being introduced, and I was confused by why he was doing that.
Michael Chandler is yoked up. Like,
yeah,
that man's carved from fucking steel.
I really hope it doesn't steam when he pees, because it's piss. I'm kidding. My piss is actually like temperate. Like it's like Arizona, just a dry heat.
Talking about putting some fire on that. According to DraftKings Sportsbook, one bettor placed a $6,000 bet on Michael Chandler that cashes out at $16,500. You know what?
Whew.
I mean, listen.
Plus 10.5K, that's a good bet.
Yeah, these guys both throw hammers. So if you're just hoping on a lucky shot, sure.
And
I would have voted on the over/under. I feel like I think that's a safer bet, but here we are.
And we've got over 700 people watching us across the Combat Culture Network. We thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. I'm Matt Ryan, Shakiel Mahjouri joining me, Mike Beltran, the official Olive the Fat Baby, somewhere in my studio. And on the other side of the glass, the lovely, the talented Stephanie Sotilli, handling the community management tonight. We see the collection of UFC ring girls, and it's Justin Gaethje going up against Michael Chandler in the opening fight of UFC 268. We're going to see some chin checking. It's either that or they're going to grapple for 15 minutes. And here we go. A sweep kick by Gaethje to start things off. And they have frenetic electric football energy off rip here. Chandler with a shot to Gaethje's chin. We are having some firecrackers here in the early going. Left-right combination missed by Chandler. Gaethje trying to find a way in there, trying to do an and one crossover with a feint punch. Not landing anything so far is Gaethje. Both men kind of keeping their hands up. Chandler gets his chin checked with a right from Gaethje. Low kick again by Gaethje, catching Chandler in the ankle. Chandler missing with a quick combination. Over 30 seconds gone by in round one. Straight left, missed by Gaethje. Looking for an opportunity is either fighter here standing in the center of the octagon. battle in the UFC 155-pound division. Oh, another overhand right from Gaethje, catching Chandler, sending him back. A low kick by Chandler. A punch missed. Chandler going over on that one, almost windmilling the punch. Low kick again by Gaethje, chopping down the tree. Chandler meets one. Chandler with some shots, but he's getting closer and closer to the fence. An uppercut missed by Gaethje. Chandler landing some wild shots. We've got a fight in a phone booth here at the Garden. Battling back and forth. A 3:48 left to go in round one. Can kick by Chandler. Gaethje standing in the center. Low kick by Chandler, catching the ankle of Gaethje. 3:40 left to go in round one. Low kick. Oh, and Chandler getting the eyebrow of Gaethje with a right uppercut, leg kick, and a couple of shots from Gaethje. You wouldn't think these guys had wrestled a day in their lives. That left right combination by Gaethje, a feint on that right hand, barely getting it. Straight left landed by Chandler. Kick to the ankle by Chandler. Kick to the knee by Gaethje. Left-right combination, finding Gaethje not landing. 3:14 left to go in round number one. Right hand missed. Left uppercut landed by Gaethje. Low kick landed by Chandler. By Gaethje. Chandler, two lefts. Almost sent Gaethje into the Luther Campbell position. Face down, ass up, but he stands. 2:55 left to go. Another straight left by Chandler. Both men jockeying for position here, standing in the center of the octagon. Two quick jabs landed by Chandler, but another low kick landed by Gaethje to the ankle of Chandler. Oh, and a left hook from Gaethje to the jaw of Chandler. That would have killed the normal man, but Chandler keeps fighting, throws a couple of shots of his own. A clinch attempt by Gaethje, but punched away. Chandler landing a couple of shots to Gaethje's temple. Gaethje getting Chandler to bleed some raspberry jam from the nose. 2:25 in a war shot to the rib cage. It's turning into Hagler. Her jumping knee by Chandler, hitting Gaethje in the shoulder. Gaethje in trouble. Gaethje in a firefight on his back after a wild right from Chandler. Landing a left is Gaethje, overhand right by Gaethje, and he's back in this motherfucker. Uppercut by Gaethje, and now into a clinch. Trying to go for the Muay Thai, knee by Chandler with the right knee. Getting out of this in an elbow by Gaethje to the forehead of Chandler and an overhand right. Chandler now bleeding over the right eye. Kind of looks like Kratos war paint now for Chandler. Quick combination back into that Muay Thai clinch by Chandler. Gaethje trying to fight out of it, trying to grapple his way out, and he does. 1:42, and we're still in round one. Overhand right. Now trying to go for a takedown is Chandler. Now back into that Muay Thai clinch attempt. Not able to get both hands around the neck. 1:32 left to go in round one, and Chandler punches his way out of it.
Oh, my God.
Chandler looking for an opportunity. We have 1:23 left to go in this one. Overhand left thrown by Gaethje. What's going to happen first? A knockout by them or a heart attack by me? We're going to find out in real time, kids. Swinging overhand lefts and rights, not landing by Chandler. Gaethje catching Chandler right in the eyebrow. Another low kick by Gaethje. That's been a real positive for him, being able to land those ankle kicks. An uppercut right to the jaw of Chandler by Gaethje. Chandler now finally realizing he's bleeding. That could be a bad thing. Under a minute left to go in round number one. Gaethje standing in the center of the octagon, looking for an opportunity. Another clinch attempt by Chandler, an uppercut by Chandler. And right now, if you're looking at octagon control, Chandler might steal this round, even though he's the bloodier of the two fighters. Uppercut landed in that clinch, and another uppercut almost landed by Gaethje. Shooting for the takedown is Chandler. Great takedown defense by Gaethje with 30 seconds left to go, stymieing it. And another kick to the ankle, forcing Chandler to switch his stance, and he eats a quick overhand right from Gaethje. Another right hand from Gaethje. 10-7 in terms of leg kicks for Gaethje against Chandler. 15 seconds left to go. Uppercut missed by Gaethje. And we're getting to the last 10 seconds of this round. You got to wonder if both men have blown out their gas tanks. An 11th leg kick by Gaethje. And we will go to the end of round number one with both men going and dying on their soul. Shaq, what the fuck did you think?
How did that last 5 full minutes? My God, dude. Signed, sealed, and delivered as promised. I got to give that 10-9 Michael Chandler round one, just because while they both landed hard, not only did Chandler land more strikes, Gaethje was more physically wobbled by one of those exchanges. And yeah, I think that's a clear 10-9 Chandler, but that gives me no confidence as to who's going to win round two and round three. That was...
It felt like Chandler was using he found a rhythm with that clinch to stymie it. If he wasn't able to pull off those clinches, I think Gaethje wins that round 10-9.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's so hard in the moment not to call out the round of the year when you forget what else has happened this year, but it's got to be up there. It's got to be.
Yeah, that was some Hagler Hearn shit. We got 10 minutes of a fight left.
Chandler looks tired. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He looked really exhausted after that.
And Gaethje is like, all right, pal, let's play two. He's going to Ernie Banks this shit. Here we go with round number 2. Standing in the center of the octagon is Gaethje. Chandler going there to meet him. Left thrown by Chandler, not landing. Good bobbing and weaving there by Gaethje. Gaethje trying to find an opportunity here. Live odds by DraftKings, minus 250 for Gaethje, plus 180 for Chandler. So the line does not really change much. Right hand landed by Gaethje onto Chandler and setting up with that left and landing with the right. Chandler pointing up to the sky, because that might have been where his jaw went for a moment. 4:28 left to go in round number 2. Pace slowing a lot here. Left hand, quick body hook. And as soon as I say that, quick combination from both fighters in a clinch. Beautiful right hand by Gaethje. Chandler getting him with a feint one. 2 quick lefts by Chandler. Now 3, 2 to the head, 1 to the body. Another shot. Both men trying to land the same punch there, hitting each other. Leg kick preceded by a punch, and keep using that left jab. Chandler keeps switching up his stance. Another leg kick by Gaethje. Chandler just trying to pitter-pat with those jabs and try to find reach. And Gaethje with a right hook to the head. And Chandler almost made the windows noise, but was able to reset himself. Another leg kick by Gaethje. Another left-right combination. Another right uppercut by Gaethje. 3:40 left to go, overhand right. Gaethje almost walked into an uppercut if Chandler was able to throw it. Leg kick again by Chandler. 3:33 left to go in the round. Chandler leading with that left jab. Oh, and a left hook by Gaethje. Right uppercut. Gaethje is down. Chandler is down. Gaethje piling on Chandler. Trying to end this one here. Chandler in trouble. Trying to hold on to the leg of Justin Gaethje. Now an elbow by Chandler. Trying to end this fight with 3:09 left to go in the second. Chandler got caught with a right shot to the jaw. Sent him down, and now he is in mourning position like it is Bikram yoga on a Sunday, and he is a housewife looking for a pool boy. 2:55 left to go in the round, and Gaethje landing with impunity. The word of the day coming in early. 2:48 left to go, and Chandler bleeding a lot of raspberry jam onto that canvas, trying to find a way out of this. Gaethje in control with 2.5 and change left to go in round number 2. Now might be trying to pull a guillotine here. Chandler looking alive, trying to find a way out of this. Both men on their knees here. Chandler with a variation of a chin lock, trying to pull maybe a bulldog choke as he goes around, and now into a variation of side control. Both men back up standing with 2:15 left to go. Missing with the left hand is Chandler. 2:10 now left to go in round number 2. Overhand right, missed by Gaethje. If that connected, we might have been back to the ground. And now Chandler, being the aggressor, almost getting caught with a right hand by Gaethje. That right hand has been doomed so far for Chandler. A straight left landed by Gaethje. Chandler wanting more. Chandler saying, bring it the fuck on. And Chandler throwing a right uppercut and then a leg kick. A leg kick by Gaethje to Chandler. Minute 44 left to go. An overhand left, and Chandler saying he wants more. I don't know if he wants that, or right now that brain is starting to rattle around. And he is just doing whatever he thinks he can do to survive. Eats a right uppercut. Does Chandler by Gaethje. 90 seconds left to go in round number 2. Big punch by Chandler. Bounced off the cage and came at Gaethje. But Gaethje still standing. Minute 20 left to go in round number 2. Lug kick. Chandler going for the takedown. Gaethje avoids it and stands right back up. What a round by Justin Gaethje. An uppercut to Chandler by Gaethje. Using that right hand again. That right hand has spelled trouble for Michael Chandler. In this round, another right hook. Right to the jaw. He has landed 51 shots to the head compared to 38 for Chandler. 6 to the body. 8 for Chandler. 16-9 in terms of shots to the leg in this fight so far. And Gaethje getting lit up in the midsection. Wild shots by Chandler missing. Not able to use that wingspan. Gaethje landing shots, but finding a way to get out of Chandler's range, who's got the longer wingspan. It's only by 1.5 inches, but still 35 seconds left to go in this round. And Chandler looking tired, looking verklempt, and looking swollen in the face. Gaethje has taken this round and may be able to finish this fight in the last 25 seconds. Kick to the midsection by Gaethje. Leg kick again by Gaethje. 20 seconds left to go in the round. Trying to find a way to bring that right hand in is Gaethje. Chandler bopping out of the way of an uppercut attempt. Lands a left and then a right hook to the jaw. 9 seconds left to go. And it looks like a time is called, and it looks like Gaethje got poked in the eye. Of course that happens. Poke to the eye. Mike Beltran will take Gaethje to the corner, try to reset. Gaethje is hot. He felt like Chandler did that on purpose. And we see here on the replay the shot, the right heel, the right overhand by Chandler, and then he does a scrape, and that'll be the end of the round. And Gaethje right to be pissed at that one. Shaq, your thoughts on round 2?
Oh my goodness. First and foremost, Chandler is ultra tough. That's a 10-8 for me in favor of Gaethje, so I'm scoring a 19-18 heading into round 3 for Justin Gaethje. Man, so tough. If Charles Oliveira does not have the wrestling offense to take down Justin Gaethje, I don't know who else in this division is going to beat him. If you can't take Justin Gaethje down, you got problems.
He stymied him, and then we're seeing here on the replay that poke to the eye, and it is very blatant that he kind of just throws his working loop, and his fingers are cuffed like this. And if he didn't get a manicure, you might see some slash marks on the face of Justin Gaethje.
Pissed. You can tell they're having fun, though, in that fight. And, for whatever Chandler and Gaethje are as people I don't know, I can tell you they're sick. Because they're having way too much fun in there. That is
and
absurd.
right here, we're seeing the sequence of that right uppercut by Gaethje that sent Chandler down. If he connected with that overhand left, Chandler would be out.
I swear Chandler was out. He would freeze in those positions for times, but he did it, man. He made it.
We are in round 3, over 10 seconds gone by. Leg kick, first shot of the round by Gaethje. Gaethje and leg kick are like peanut butter and jelly in this fight so far. Straight left landed by Gaethje. Both men leading with their left hand. Another leg kick takes out the back of Chandler's ankle, trying to snap that joint in half. 4:30 left to go in the round. And in this fight, we are in the 3rd round of the opening contest of UFC 268. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri and Stephanie Tilly. Leg kick missed by Gaethje. Trying to lead with that jab is Chandler. Both men's pace slowing significantly as opposed to round 1 and 2. Overhand left landed by Gaethje, missing with that overhand right. Right now, the live odds minus 425 for Gaethje, plus 280 for Chandler, who throws a devastating right hand into the jaw of Gaethje. Gaethje doubled up for a second, but kept pushing. Straight left landed to the body by Gaethje to Chandler. Overhand left, barely grazing. Couple of uppercuts by Chandler, landing one with the right, not with the left. Missing with the overhand right was Chandler. 20-9 in terms of leg kicks. Gaethje and Chandler, left, right, missing on right uppercut landed by Gaethje. Leg kick landed by Chandler. Leading with that left is Chandler, trying to find a way to get inside, land some shots with his right hand, not able to keep a rhythm going, tagging at this point. Now shots to the body, and they tried to go for that clinch again, and a right hand by Gaethje. Chandler resets for a moment, and now still trying to move ahead like a PS2 that was put on its side. Shot to the left. Shot with the left by Gaethje, another leg kick by Chandler. Chandler with eating a light left combination, saying, come on, another overhand right by Gaethje. Chandler wanting more of it. 3:03 left to go in the round. I don't know what the fuck these guys are made of, but I want like 6 of it injected into me like now. I need to be a better human. And now Chandler with a takedown, an impressive suplex, but Gaethje gets out of it and now has Chandler's back. The man no-sold a shoot suplex and got up on his opponent. I love this motherfucker. 2:41 left to go in the round. Now in a reverse waistlock position, Chandler pressed up against the fence. Beltran saying, don't use your fingers like you did before. And now Chandler throwing a right uppercut into the jaw and now kneeing the back of Chandler's knee with 2:25 left to go in the round. And an overhand left in transition by Gaethje. Both men walking back to the center of the octagon. 2:16 left to go, missing with that overhand right. Chandler eating another left hand, though, after Gaethje missed with that right. Quick combination by Chandler, wanting more of it from Gaethje. A leg kick by Gaethje. Chandler with an up kick that landed, and now into a scramble and a combination, and Gaethje's in trouble. He'll bounce off, and now both of them back in the phone booth for a second. Uppercut, Gaethje almost ate that one, covering up Gaethje in trouble. Overhand right that sends Chandler back. Minute 45 left to go in the round, shooting for the takedown. Gaethje stops it. Chandler eating a left after a push kick while standing. Minute 37 left to go. 20-22. Chandler with significant strikes in the third round, but an uppercut and overhand left by Gaethje. Chandler once more, and Chandler keeping his hands down, eats a left and then a right hook to the jaw, an uppercut, and then went back and said, "Fight me, motherfucker." Minute 19 left to go in the round. Chandler eating another straight right from Gaethje, another one and then a left hook. Gaethje throwing everything he has at Chandler, and this man won't die. Like the Harry Potter franchise and my family, they just won't die. A minute and 2 left to go in the third round. Chandler doing the Brock Lesnar bounce in the middle of the octagon with 53 seconds, rallying this Madison Square Garden crowd. If Dana White doesn't give these motherfuckers 75 grand, I protest on pure principle. 43 seconds left to go. Chandler bouncing around. Gaethje needs to go after it here and make sure he wins this round, because if he lets it go to the judges, this is going to get real hot real quick, and there hasn't been a riot in the Garden since 63, and Chandler doing some capoeira shit, missing wildly with 25 seconds left to go. 22 seconds now left to go in this fight. Chandler doing some weird lateral moves, like he's dribbling without a basketball. Spinning kick, and Chandler just gets punched in the stomach. He just got Jushin Thunder Liger noped in mixed martial arts. Push kick missed by Gaethje. 5 seconds left to go. Chandler will survive, and we will go to the scorecards in the Garden, as both of these guys have given each other at least a mild concussion. Shaq, your thoughts?
Michael Chandler has more than a couple of screws loose. I don't know what was going through his mind, if he's like, I don't know if I can win this anymore, but he's just walking. Not only is he walking with his hands down, goading Justin Gaethje into striking, he's taking those shots and not firing back. He's ultra tough. Give him all the credit in the world. But in a fight that I don't know if he was exhausted or hurt, but in a fight that I felt like maybe he could have still landed that one big shot to steal that last round and either win a decision or take a draw, he just started showboating. So I don't understand what those last 2 minutes were, because he was definitely the lesser fighter in a sense, but he showed he had the power to change that on a moment's notice. I score it 2-1 for Gaethje with a 10-8 in the second. Yeah. And I don't know what Michael Chandler was thinking in the final couple minutes there.
Yeah, no, that was some weird. He was having fun with it. I think he knew he lost the fight, so he was just, fuck it, I'm going to have some fun. Let's take a look. Tennis Hawks donating $2 odd to the cause. Shout out to everybody watching along here with us. Thank you for the compliments. Holy shit. Bravo, sir. Jude Pagano, hell yeah, go sports. Line of the night right there. Thank you to all 1,100 plus watching us now. We've got over 1,400 people watching us across the Combat Culture Network. We thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. I'm Jarvis Jason 87 saying Rohan's replacement. Don't mess with the Rohan. That's going to be the name of our new movie. Steph's going to be writing it. Steph, you ready to write Don't Mess with the Rohan?
Wait, what? No, why? I don't need that.
You need your union card.
Oh, God, apparently, yeah.
Checking
there
in.
are union people on set. You're all boys.
No. Well, good thing we're not rusty here. Let's go to the official scorecards. And we're going to get the official scores here in just a moment.
Well, what is your... I'm going 29-28.
Yeah, I'll go 29-28 for Chandler. Okay, We've got 29-28, Gaethje, I mean, okay. 29-28, 29-28, 30-27 for Justin Gaethje. Wow. So they're giving it... Wow. That's... Damn. So someone thinks Gaethje took the first round. I could see them giving them the first round, but Justin Gaethje winning in a war by unanimous decision. Shout out to PJ Simpson donating $5 to the cause. saying, great call, Matt. Thank you so much. Spiderweb Marketing. Nah, he and Rogan should work together. They would make magic together. Checking in the chat, Silver and Black 831. Matt was born for this. Okie Grower 75 saying Chandler was robbed.
What? Whoa. In what world?
Please explain
Chandler,
why.
Who got dropped in the second
the man
and
got
robbed in the third. Robbed. Y'all throw that round too loosely. Y'all have never been robbed in your life, but you know what the trauma would be like.
I've been robbed. I was robbed on the New York City subway, so I know what it feels like. Manny 323 saying, what's good, y'all? Well, we just witnessed a war on live TV, so we're good. We good. Nairo Nut says you're defending you. Nairo Nut is defending you, Shaq. Your brain was robbed. Double guns. Douglas Abramsky saying Gaethje by 2 inches.
You know how
Okie Grower's got an excuse. To my defense, I'm really stoned.
Oh, well, then
with a name like Okie Grower 75, I'm assuming.
Then I celebrate you, good sir. Please treat yourself to some yummy food tonight. Justin Gaethje, just to prove how sick and twisted these people are, said that him and Chandler should have been fighting in a Roman Coliseum. Presumably to the death, because
these motherfuckers wanted to die in there.
Motherfuckers, yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude. They fight the way I eat.
Yeah.
With no disregard for their
well-being. The way you eat, bro, come on.
Come on, man. Dude, I hadn't had a 7-Eleven hot dog in a while, so I decided to treat myself last night, and I hit up that chili dispenser.
You just hate your... See, I eat things I enjoy. You just eat shit to hate
That's what
yourself.
I'm saying. I'm like, I remember the chili dispenser, and I had one little squirt of it, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Where did this come from, and what is it actually?
Taking a look at the chat, James Wrigley with the most accurate way to describe this show or describe my way of commentating a fight. That was the most stressful way to experience UFC ever. Jesus Christ. Put it on a t-shirt, Steph. Screenshot that. We're going to put that one up in the bathroom. Henry Bosick saying new to the channel. This is Clutch. Derek Eaton Jr. saying you guys are my favorite. Well, you're our favorite. When are the main events? Several hours from now. Shout out to Frank Smith, a new sub from the UK. John Carlson saying Gaethje is rewriting the art of war. Dean Sacramone saying, dude, stop interrupting your co-host. There's a bit of a delay.
Yes,
and also
it's not intentional.
And also, we're trying to get your comments in, guys. That's why I interrupt, because there's a great line there. And I'm not trying to interrupt Shaq. I'm just trying to make sure I don't lose it. Tom Clausen shouting out your Stella Artois. Shout out to Lloyd Webber donating $10 to the cause, saying he's our #1 fan. Spiderweb Marketing saying these guys are too tough for their own good. Brain damage in the future if they keep up with this fighting style. Well, you know, I don't see them outside of that little bit of capoeira shit earlier. I don't see that that fighting style changing for them anytime soon. But let us know what you thought of that fight in the comments below. That is certainly a fight of the night bonus, in my opinion. That was $75,000 worth it for both of those guys.
Fairly, Michael. Shout out to Brandon Wise of CBS Sports. Apparently, Michael Chandler on his way to the Octagon yelled the media, are you not entertained?
Oh, good. Oh, so he knew that this was going to be a long night at the office for somebody's brain box.
Amazing. What a fight. Let me see if we got any fight metric stats here. Okay, we got... Man, they're so late on these. We only have round 1 stats, but... Oh, no, we have round 1 and round 2, so I'll throw. Round 1, Justin Gaethje actually did land. No. Michael Chandler landed more strikes, 49-40. Round 2, obviously, Gaethje started taking over, 38 strikes to 24 for Chandler, and I imagine we're going to see the strike total in favor of Gaethje as well in the third. Yeah. Significant strikes overall, 78-73 for Chandler, so pretty close, but you see how the pop was different on those. And Chandler prioritizing the head and the legs. Michael Chandler going to the body. Body super effective. I think it's better served for a 5-round fight. Like, if you got a cardio king like Justin Gaethje, I don't think you're going to tire him out in 3 rounds with those body strikes.
Yeah.
Gaethje's got the meanest leg kicks in the game. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know what they feel like, and I hope I never find out.
Nope.
But I imagine it's something akin to me chugging a bottle of Jaeger right before I go to bed with no water and no food because I'm a dumbass.
Taking a look at the chat, Miles on Facebook saying, "What do you think we thought? It's what we dreamed for." Taking a look at the chat here, John Carlson saying, "What up with Alvarez versus Sweet Pants? Anyone got news?" And I believe he needs Sweet Hands. Caleb Plant. That fight has not happened yet. It probably won't happen until late in the evening, but we will keep up with that. If you want to learn more about that, head over to MMAmania.com. I do believe we'll have live coverage of that on the site. So head on over to MMAmania.com or follow along at MMA Mania on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at MRyan Consulting. You can follow Shaq at Shaq_Fu. And you can follow Stephanie Sotilli on Twitter at Steph Sotilli. You can follow All of the Fat Baby on Instagram at All of the Fat Baby. Udkarish saying this fight was hectic. Yes.
Stressful.
Yes. Anxiety inducing.
Yeah.
Justin Boucher saying Justin's shots are have so much more pop than Chandler's. So strikes that are landed are close by the numbers, but it's not as close as it seems. Paul Kern saying this is better than the pay-per-views. And well, cheaper, much, at least $70 cheaper.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to our fellow maniac, Ryan Harkness, who's, I think, doing the live coverage tonight. But he's got betting guides every week over at MMA Mania. He is more than tripled his investment so far, and those bets are free for you guys. 6 for 8 on his picks so far tonight, and with 2 unknown. 2 parlays have hit, 2 parlays are halfway there. So looking to make a little extra change. Ryan Harkness is the man.
And Billy Quarantillo, Billy Q from Buffalo, making his way to the ring, making his way to the octagon. Jesus, I've been in wrestling too long. But this is going to be a fun fight, a little bit on Billy Quarantillo. Yeah, he knocked out Gabe Benitez back in July with Fight of the Night honors. Former King of the Cage lightweight champion, finished 12 of his 16 wins, 7 by knockout, 5 by submission. His last loss was back in 2020 to Gavin Tucker by a unanimous decision. That ended a 8-fight winning streak, Shaq, including all of his UFC fights, 5 of which, as I said before, were by knockout or TKO. He's knocked out 7, submitted 5, and has been to the scorecards 7 times in his life, where he's 4-3 overall. So it's a bit of a toss-up the deeper it goes into a fight for Billy Quarantillo. And then you take a look at the other side for Shane Burgos. He's been to the scorecards 4 times in his career, and he's 3-1 on the scorecard. So if this goes deeper, if this goes to a decision here, Burgos may be able to pull off a win if you're just looking at it from a top-down view, just looking at it empirically. The odds are more in his favor.
Yeah, and if Shane Burgos, 2 for 2 on Fight of the Night bonuses in his last 2 fights. Josh Emmett, Edson Barboza on the losing end of both. Remember that Edson Barboza fight? Edson Barboza landed a hard, I think maybe it was a left hook, but Shane Burgos just kind of bounced with it like nothing happened and then slowly starts stumbling back. And it was weird. Like, you saw him just like shutting off an old computer. You press shut down, he looks fine, and then over the course of, I think, like 10 to 15 seconds, he goes from upright to unconscious. Super scary, but he was cleared of any concussions. Still took some time off, treated it as it was a concussion in his recovery. I had a conversation with him over at MMA Mania. So, possible 3rd fight of the night. Not after that Michael Chandler Justin Gaethje fight, but I wonder. I can't help for 2 fight of the night machines like Shane Burgos and Billy Q. It must suck when you see that you're following Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. You must think to yourself, well, it's like, there goes my $50,000.
Can we get some of that money too? Dana, you're keeping like 70, like over 60% of it.
84% of the money?
Yeah, like, can we get a little bit of that? Can we get a little bit extra? Shane Burgos with the highest strike weight in UFC featherweight history, 7.29 strikes per minute, second highest takedown defense in featherweight history with 89.3, has finished 10 of his 13 wins, 5 by submission, 5 by way of knockout, and he's gotten 3 by decision. He's been knocked out twice, though, and going up against a guy like Billy Q, as you said, these guys are fight of the night machines. Quarantillo's knocked out 7 people, so it's an interesting way to go as Burgos from the Bronx. So Europe, Not wearing Tim's to the cage, which makes me sad. But Shaq, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, if you think you're tougher than Shane Burgos, let me tell you why you're wrong. This dude on Fight Week, you know what he does? He goes to the best food spots in town with his friends, his teammates, and he watches them eat the food that he cannot, and he asks them to describe how it tastes.
That's a masochist.
Sick.
He gets off on that. Like that's a sex thing.
I told him
that's a sex thing.
Yeah, he's like there's a. I asked him, like, have you talked to a therapist? Like, does this like date back to your childhood? Is there some trauma we need to unearth? He's like, probably. Dude, he was watching food videos on his TV while we were doing the interview. He had it on the background.
I want to give him a hug now.
His post-fight meal is chocolate lasagna. It is some concoction of like layers of like Oreo crumble and chocolate and Cool Whip.
That sounds amazing.
He's a featherweight. He's a big ass featherweight, but he's a featherweight.
Yeah. The biggest difference between these fighters walking the cage per the tail of the tape, Burgos has a 5-inch reach advantage to Quarantillo at 75 to 70.5. And we have the recipe for chocolate lasagna. Thank you, Steph, for sending that along. It's a no-bake, layers of crushed cookies, chocolate pudding, and chocolate chips. So we're making this.
That's what he craves?
Yes.
This is what he eats after every fight. This is his post-fight meal. Yeah.
Man, gotta get better choices. That's absolutely trauma.
Douglas Branch.
He's a New York native. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I will. I'll send you his favorite spot. I asked him, like, Shane, I'm in town. We're celebrating post-fight. We go to Ally Quintus after party. Where are you taking me? And he described our perfect date. I'll send it your way. Let me know if you give him the thumbs up or thumbs down.
I will. And speaking of thumbs up, here we go. Low kick by Quarantillo, missing early in this one, starting in round number 1 in the clinch. Low right uppercut landed by Quarantillo. And Burgos landing a leg kick, overhand right, landed by Quarantillo. We're going to it here into a clinch. 5 straight uppercuts by Quarantillo, and then a kick to the knee, followed up by a kick to the knee by Burgos. Overhand left landed by Quarantillo. Just under 30 seconds gone by, round 1, straight left landed by Burgos. Quarantillo missing hard with a sweeping kick. Overhand left, not landing. Sweeping kick missed by Burgos on Quarantillo. Body kick. These guys are going fast. Over 40 seconds gone by, right uppercut, missing with a straight left, landing a straight left, but eating a leg kick for his troubles. Quarantillo did, trying to find something here. Right uppercut landed by Quarantillo, pushed away by Burgos, jumping up kick by Burgos, landing it, and then landing 2 straight lefts, but eating 2 lefts of his own. Quarantillo getting hit with a leg kick. Overhand right and overhand left missed by Quarantillo. Kick blocked by Burgos. 2 overhand lefts. 1 landed, 1 didn't by Quarantillo. Burgos picks him up and drags him to the fence. And Quarantillo just punching Burgos about the face and then about the knee. And now Burgos isolating that right arm right at the elbow, trying to just smother Quarantillo against the fence. Foot stomp by Quarantillo to Burgos. And now Burgos with a foot stomp of his own. Now just trying to foot stomp on the tootsies of Billy Quarantillo with 3:31 left to go in the round. Stomping the bottom of that heel right onto the toe. And then another kick by Quarantillo to Burgos. 3:21 left to go in round number 1 of 3. In this battle of the UFC heavy featherweight division, overhand right and out landed by Burgos. Burgos now circling in the inside of the octagon. Quarantillo on the outside of the center, eating a straight left from Burgos was Quarantillo. Quarantillo missing with a straight left. Burgos landing with a straight left, missing with the overhand right. He gets hit with one by Burgos. Burgos not following up with an uppercut, overhand left, and then a left uppercut from both fighters. And both men now throwing some solid punches, just leading with that left hand. Quarantillo has puffed up Burgos' face just a little bit, but he gets hit with a right-left combo by Burgos. Quarantillo missing with a right uppercut, straight left landing. Both fighters using that left jab here. 2.5 minutes remaining in round 1. Oh, 2 punches behind the ear with that right hand by Burgos. Straight left landed by Quarantillo. Overhand right misses by Quarantillo, but gets him with a bit of an elbow. Punch right to the midsection by Burgos to Quarantillo. Straight left landed by Burgos. Quarantillo with one of his own. Both men fighting now, just throwing with whatever they have, trying to get this first round knockout. Overhand lefts has been Quarantillo's for the last few seconds. Right uppercuts by Burgos. Leg kick by Burgos. A straight left landed by Quarantillo. Quarantillo missing everything in the last few seconds. Straight left landed by Burgos after Quarantillo left himself open with an overhand right. Left to the body by Quarantillo. Minute 50 left to go. Overhand right, and then pushing him away did Burgos, missing with the overhand right. But now into a Muay Thai clinch, lands a knee, and then 3 uppercuts with the right hand, and then a straight quick left by Quarantillo. 98 seconds left to go in round 1. Overhand left landed by Burgos. Minute 32 left to go in the round. Straight left landed by Quarantillo. Quick right, left hands, and then a right uppercut by Quarantillo. Throwing that left jab with a lot of snap straight on that left jab. Left-right combination by Burgos. Burgos trying to make something happen here with a minute 19 left to go in the round. He is starting to bleed. Quarantillo trying to go for the takedown. Takes that single leg, going after the left leg of Burgos. Burgos landing a couple of left hands, but he is bleeding now, and he is being smothered by Billy Quarantillo. And now it's turning it around as Burgos pushing Quarantillo against the fence with a minute 1 left to go in the round here in the second fight of the main card of UFC 268. If you have not subscribed yet, what the fuck is wrong with you? Foot stomp by Burgos. Pushing him away is Quarantillo. 50 seconds left to go in the round. 2 straight lefts landing. One of them was Quarantillo. 39-52 in terms of significant strikes. Quarantillo with 52, Burgos with 39. Uppercut, and Burgos gets Quarantillo down, and then lands a right uppercut. And now with 35 seconds left to go, Burgos trying to look for the kill, lands a right hook and then a straight left. Quarantillo in trouble. Quarantillo landing a devastating right of his own. 25 seconds left to go in the round. Quarantillo has some snap on his jab, not being aggressive, not walking into shots, trying to make something happen. Oh, and a right to the body, straight left by Burgos. Burgos eating a couple shots from Quarantillo, and he gets pushed back. Single leg takedown attempt by Quarantillo. 5 seconds left to go in the round. Quarantillo pushing Burgos up against the fence. Shoulder strikes and stomps, and we will go to round 2 in the Garden.
Dang. Hey, I had that 10-9 Billy Quarantillo right up until Shane Burgos landed the knockdown.
Yep.
Burgos, cleaner, better technique, but Quarantillo's volume just out of control. And even with that knockdown, it was still a really close round. I got ahead. You're supposed to score off damage. I gotta just lean Burgos based on the knockdown, but damn close round. And if Quarantillo can keep doing what he's doing and maybe just avoid getting clipped, it's his fight to lose. But Burgos, man, dangerous guy.
It's like going to the beach and you see those little waves. They're consistent. They're there. But then you just see these it's like being there at high tide. It just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah, I'm surprised how often Quarantillo landed on Burgos, and his corner's calling for more activity, not to wait along. My hunch is Burgos is going to be able to separate himself these next rounds.
AJ saying Matt's intensity perfectly matches the climactic point in my prog rock album. And call it already! Just less than right, overhand right from Quarantillo, and Quarantillo just throwing a whole hardware store at Shane Burgos, just throwing the 6 train at him. Standing in the center of the octagon, body kick, and a quick combination fighting in the phone booth is Burgos. He probably did once before they removed all of them from New York City, because I think everybody here's fought in the phone booth once. Right hand, left-right combination from Quarantillo. 4:30 left to go in round number 2. Quick left landed by Burgos. 2 lefts landed by Burgos. Inside, and a beautiful elbow by Burgos. He is keeping the pressure on here. He is turned to Catalan and trying to knock out Quarantillo. Quarantillo tried to go for a spinning back fist. Did not land that overhand right. Barely landed by Burgos. Quarantillo eats it and throws an overhand right, and then eats a right uppercut from Burgos. Shots to the body by Quarantillo. Throwing some solid shots. A quick left hook by Burgos. A low kick. And Quarantillo looking in a little bit of trouble, missing with that uppercut. Overhand left-right combination by Quarantillo. Quarantillo throwing, he's down, but he gets right back up. That could be considered a slip, but now pressing Burgos up against the fence, trying to go for a single leg, trying to shoot that takedown, unable to do so far. Burgos standing on one leg like a flamingo, punching Quarantillo in the face. 3:35 left to go in round number 2. Now pressed up against the fence is Burgos. Quarantillo with a shoulder strike. pressing up against the fence. His opponent switching around. Burgos now in the control position. Needed a body by Burgos. Knee by Quarantillo not landing. Now in a Muay Thai strike, trying to go into a collar and elbow clinch here against Burgos' Quarantillo. Live odds right now, plus 120 for Burgos, minus 160 for Quarantillo. Quarantillo pressed up against the fence, but throws a right hook. Shot to the body by Burgos with a right hand. Straight left landed by Quarantillo. 3 minutes left to go in the round. That left jab coming in handy for Quarantillo here with the big reach disadvantage, having to get inside, going up against Burgos, who uses his long limbs to go for a kick to the chin, not landing it all the way. And now a grapple attempt and pushing him against the fence. Burgos trying to go into a clinch here against Quarantillo, and Quarantillo tried to push him into a takedown and now trying to lock in a standing choke, not able to do so. Burgos getting his head out of there with 2:31 left to go in round number 2. Kick to the body by Burgos on a push kick, right uppercut by Quarantillo, and Quarantillo trying to go for a weird takedown there. Tried to slip down Burgos' body and sweep the leg, not able to do so. Both men still standing with 2:16 left to go in the round. Quarantillo standing in the center of the octagon. Burgos throwing a left, landing it on the jaw, missing with the overhand right was Billy Quarantillo, leading with that right, throwing a left, quick right-left combination, right to the body by Burgos. Overhand right, and then a beautiful left hook by Burgos. Overhand left landed by Burgos. 155 left to go in the round. Overhand right missing wildly was Quarantillo. Burgos been winning this round so far. He has been able to find the pace and dictate the momentum, throwing lefts and rights into the face of Billy Quarantillo. Standing in the center of the octagon, both men quick left jab landed by Burgos. Quarantillo missing some lefts and rights fairly wildly, shooting again for a takedown, not able to land it. 94 seconds, both men grappling against the fence. In terms of significant strikes, 98 to 97 by Burgos, but both of them adding it with some lefts and rights of their own, throwing wildly here in the second round. 120 left to go, throwing a left. Both men just leading with that left jab. Minute 16, right hooks, left hooks by Burgos, kick by Quarantillo. Minute 11 left to go in the fight, in the round, pardon me. Left jab, throwing that left jab a couple of times was Quarantillo. Burgos trying to go for a kick. Now Quarantillo trying to go for a single leg takedown. 1 minute left to go in round number 2. Shoulder strike by Quarantillo. Both men fighting their way back to the center of the octagon. Left hook landed by Quarantillo. Throwing inside lefts and rights from both fighters. 50 seconds left to go in the round. Leg kick by Burgos to Quarantillo. Missing with that right uppercut was Burgos. Throwing the left and then eating a right. Throwing a right, pardon me. Quarantillo into a rhythm, but Burgos fighting his way back into it. Straight left landed by Quarantillo. 35 seconds left to go. Leg kick by Burgos. Quarantillo looking tired. 31 seconds left to go in the round. Left-right combination landed by Quarantillo, but a devastating right hook by Burgos to Quarantillo. Right now, in terms of significant strikes, oh my God, it's 53 to 53 in this round, but Burgos knocking Quarantillo on the spaghetti legs. He is about to become pure fusilli in Madison Square Garden. Right-left combination landed by Burgos. Burgos with that right hand. Quarantillo looking shaky. He is like a bobblehead during a Richter scale incident, and Burgos landing with the rights. Quarantillo against the fence, throwing wildly, and that will be the end of round 2. And Shane Burgos is on fire in the Garden. Shaq, what do you got?
Hey, that is 2018 Shane Burgos, like I predicted, building the lead. It's not just that he's starting to figure out Billy Q, get more aggressive, slip better, land better. It's those leg kicks. Quarantillo's stability is shot. He can't move as effectively. He can't press forward as effectively. And now we're seeing the overall more well-rounded Burgos start taking this fight. And a crowd that was dead for a fight they would otherwise be lively for is totally invested now. But you can't blame him after what we just saw with Gaethje and Chandler.
No, this is the perfect follow-up to that fight, in my opinion. Taking a look in the chat, Liam Sanchez goes to Vegas as the old flamingo technique, the oldest trick in the book. He was able to pull that one off. Oh, but fuck, what a fight. Steph, we might need to find me some blood pressure medication at some point.
Yeah, I've been looking.
Henry Vargas saying, where's the brawny? Yeah, I am Nixon 60 debate sweaty right now. Thank you. I apologize to the I apologize to the congregation. Here we go, round 3, and they're just going at it again. Throwing wild lefts and rights to start the round. Leg kick missed by Burgos. Overhand left landed by Quarantillo. It is insanity inside the Garden. 4:40 left to go in round 2, and both men will go to the corners. It looks like an eye poke. Second straight fight, both times taking place in the 3rd round. Burgos getting warned by the official Keith Peterson. He's hiding all of his tattoos, left-right combination, and now into a Muay Thai clinch by Burgos. Swinging wildly as Quarantillo with lefts and rights, just throwing wild bailing shots, trying to get inside Quarantillo with that straight left. Both men throwing straight lefts, both landing on the jaw. 4:20 left to go. Left-right combination landed by Burgos. Low kick landed by Burgos. Quarantillo tried to grab the neck and throw an uppercut. That did not land, but effective there. Oh, and Burgos takes Quarantillo down. Quarantillo tries to go and grab the ankle for the takedown, but Burgos stepping away. Both men back up standing. 4 minutes left to go in the round. Quarantillo once again trying to go for the takedown. Left leg trying to go for that takedown again, but Burgos finding a way to stifle it. Quarantillo once again trying to go for that leg. He has it up, sweeps him and takes Burgos down, isolates that leg, but Burgos gets right back up, but a reverse waistlock applied by Quarantillo. Burgos now gets Quarantillo off of him, spinning around, utilizing the B button, and finding a way to get out of it. Both men standing with 3:32 left to go in the round, missing with that right uppercut. Taking a look at this, 110 shots to the head by Burgos, 139 by Quarantillo. It's 110 to 139 in terms of shots to the face. Jesus, 20 to 22 in shots to the body, and we still have 3:16 left to go in this fight. Pressed up against the fence is Burgos. Quarantillo eating a knee to the midsection as he tries to take down Burgos once again. Burgos using his knee to keep distance, and now Burgos pressing a tired Billy Quarantillo up against the fence. 2:57 left to go in the 3rd and final round of our 2nd fight of the main card. Strap the fuck in. We got 3 more for you here tonight in the Garden. 2:50 left to go in the round. Burgos pressed up against the fence by Quarantillo. Pardon me, the other way around. Quarantillo pressed up against the fence by Burgos. 239 shots to the body. Right uppercut landed by Quarantillo. Lands an overhand right. Misses with the overhand left. Burgos able to get it up. Wild overhand right by Quarantillo. Straight right hooks by Burgos, who's now against the fence. And Burgos landing a right hand, stifling another takedown attempt by Quarantillo. Turning it around and pressing Quarantillo up against the corner of the octagon. Foot stomp by Burgos. Quarantillo trying to step over and maybe do a hip toss. Not able to pull that off. Lands a couple of right hands to the face of Burgos, who is dragging him around the cage as if it were a strap match. 2:02 left to go. Straight lefts landed by Burgos. Quarantillo stepping away before a right hand from Burgos, missing with the overhand right, landing a straight left. Missing with the straight left was Quarantillo. Quarantillo eating a right hand from Burgos. Burgos throwing a right-left combination. Quarantillo leading with that left. Missing with a spinning elbow and a back fist was Burgos. 1:41 left to go in the fight. Quarantillo trying again to go for the takedown, but he will be denied like me at high school prom, and now trying to go for another reverse waistlock and try to pull the takedown. This is the most significant strikes in UFC history. They are at a 311. Amber is the color of their energy. The previous high was 274, outpacing in 311 to 274, and a trip takedown by Quarantillo, but Burgos finds a way out of it. It looked like Quarantillo was going for a spinning toe hold with 1:07 left to go. Burgos being pressed against the fence, trying to get out of this. Quarantillo looks like he was holding on to the octagon. He is tired, throwing overhand lefts. Quick left again by Burgos. Eating a right was Burgos. Throwing that left hand is Quarantillo. Missing with the right. Muay Thai clinch and a knee by Burgos. 47 seconds left to go in this fight. Quick lefts and a right. Beautiful fight here from both of these men. 40 seconds away from going to the scorecards. Burgos eats an uppercut into that clinch again. A Muay Thai knee from Quarantillo. Another knee to the body. Burgos laughing it off. Quarantillo driving Burgos into the fence with 27 seconds left to go in the 3rd round. Trying to find his way out of this clinch again as Burgos needed a jaw by Quarantillo. 19 seconds left to go in the fight. Burgos now pressing Quarantillo up against the fence, maybe trying to get some style points here with a takedown of his own. He has got Burgos in what looks like a backdrop driver position, throws a couple of lefts to the jaw, another right by Burgos. Burgos with an overhand right, both of them swinging wildly, and we will go to the scorecards once again in Madison Square Garden. Shaq, back-to-back bangers. What are your thoughts?
Back-to-back bangers. It's my kind of night. Any other fight card this year, that probably would have been your fight of the night. I think they set the record for most significant strikes thrown in a featherweight bout. Man, credit to both guys. Ultra tough. Shane Burgos so slick. Billy Q never taking a step back, trying to get this fight to the ground. Clear 30-27 for Hurricane Shane Burgos, who has, fun fact, beefed on Twitter with Hurricane Shane Helms over that nickname.
How dare he? How dare he?
In good spirit, in good taste, all in fun. Okay. What a fight, man. What warriors. You just gotta love that these two guys, like, I don't think I could take 3 significant strikes from my grandmother, let alone nearly 200 from top 15 in Shane Burgos' case, featherweights in the UFC. It's just insanity.
And we are waiting for the scorecards. Checking in on the chat here. Taking a look here. Dalai Lama 4 saying your voice makes my ear bleed. I'm glad you're here. The MF Brown 518, show me the screen. No, you can, if you want to watch along with us, you can click the link in the description below and watch it, and also kick us a little bit back. So shut up. Just shut up. 740 strikes were thrown in that fight. 740. Jesus.
Insanity. Just
not.
It took 10.5 rounds and just limitless, never a step back pressure from Billy Q to start tiring out Shane Burgos, who is a big featherweight, who must cut a lot of weight to make this. So the fact that he came in that condition to fight that pace for that long and throw that many strikes, dude prepared. Dude really, really prepared.
It is 29-28 across the board.
What?
For the winner. Shane Burgos walking out 29-28.
We're getting some weird cards tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's New York State. New York's still new to MMA. Some of them are boxing judges converted to MMA judges. So they're probably not following the letter of the law as much.
I worry what will happen if Colby versus Kamaru is competitive. I worry going to that scorecard.
Oh man, there will be a riot. There will be a riot. Kuzbek Chris saying Bob Costas would battle that commentary. Well done. Well, thank you. MF Brown 518. How much are you charging for the screen view? Oh, well, if you click the link for only $69.99, you can actually watch the whole show. So that's what we're charging for the screen view, $69.99. Burgos is way too big for 145. Yeah, he is a huge featherweight. That is a lot of human.
Yeah, insanity. Shane Burgos, really cool guy too. So I gotta be happy. Billy Q is as well though. So hard to pick someone, like emotionally to win that fight. But dude, if Dana White doesn't throw out an extra fight of the night bonus, he probably won't because he's cheap. But I hope he does. I hope he realizes that it's in. That so many fighters are talking about fighter pay these days, and maybe he should just throw a little extra pennies really in his life to these guys. Write it off. Some extra fight night bonuses. It'd be so nice to see.
Stephen Murphy said, "Dude, I'm his size at 197." Yeah, I think I'm his height, and I am way more than 197. We see Halle Berry in the crowd.
Did you see Zheng Weili no-sell Halle Berry at the weigh-in?
I did not.
It was great. She went in for like a hug or something, and Zheng. I mean, maybe Weili just doesn't know who Halle Berry is, or didn't.
Which is entirely
walked right by Halle Berry.
Yeah.
How do you like Halle Berry and her MMA? Her MMA, I guess.
She's becoming the Rosie Perez of MMA because Rosie Perez is like the queen of everything boxing.
Exactly. You could have worse. You could have worse ambassadors than Halle Berry.
AJ Howe saying on Facebook, "I'm just cruising around the city listening to this. So rad." It is weird that people are just listening to us in their daily lives as I'm yelling at a television screen.
I was gonna say, I mean, this will happen to me periodically if I'm like at the gym and it's a fight night and I'm trying to watch. But it's nice to have someone yelling at you. I'm glad it's you, not me, because I'm just not much of a yeller. More of a shrieker.
Tyler Jurgen saying, since when does Halle Berry have anything to do with MMA? Well, she's doing an MMA movie.
Yeah, that's it.
And she's a fan of the sport, and I also think that Brian Ortega was like a consultant on that movie, and he was
at the very least. Yeah, at the very least.
No shame
in that. Update these subscriber stats.
Yeah, where are we in terms of subscribers?
We have crossed the 100. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. One moment. We have crossed. It doesn't update as fast as it does on YouTube, so I got to punch it manually sometimes. We have crossed the 134,000 mark. We're officially less than 500 of the way there. Hey, to whoever that guy was who was so high he scored that fight for Chandler, we are 420 away from our goal.
Hey!
Look at that. So if you haven't, please subscribe. Please thumbs up. That gets more people hooked on Matt screaming and yelling. My apologies.
Shout out to DR donating $4.99 to the cause. I would subscribe if you showed the screen. Well, then you would put us out of business. And that's not what we do here.
You could go watch all the other wonderful content we have that's on live streams if you're so upset about this.
Exactly,
we got UFC fighters reacting to backyard brawls. We got Nate Diaz being a badass for 8 minutes. We got lots of goodies.
Slim D925 said, what happened to Brendan? Well, he is in Miami this week performing a version of War of the Worlds, but he'll be back with us for UFC 269 in December. We've got Tom saying, someone asked what happened in the Chandler fight and said, Blake Clayton said Justin clapped his cheeks, and that just made me laugh. It just made me
laugh. He did.
Yes, he did. Take a look at the props for tonight. Minus 310 for Kamaru, plus 250 for Covington. These are stats brought by DraftKings. The over is 4.5 rounds, minus 125 for Usman. Edgar Del Rosario asking who won the last match. Shane Burgos won the last fight by unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. If you're just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan, Shakiel Mahjouri over on the other side of the continent in Vancouver. On the other side of the make-believe glass, not make-believe grass. We don't have make-believe grass here. Stephanie Sotilli. Steph, how you doing over there?
Definitely not make-believe. 420 subscribers left.
Question for you, Matt.
Yes.
We got our last non-title fight coming up. Frankie, the answer, Edgar. Marlon Chito Vera. Frankie Edgar doesn't seem keen on retirement. It didn't come up much this week, but do you think that we could see Frankie retire in New York City?
I feel like the odds are more than likely that the UFC releases him before he retires.
He's in NYC. He should retire, man.
Yeah, he's from the area. He's a legend. You know, he's lost 3 of his last 4. His last one was a split decision over Pedro Munoz. But then you got Cheeto, who's 2-2 in his last 4. Last time we saw him was back in June. He got a fight of the night against David Grant, but that was the unanimous decision. I don't know. Like, I would like to see his last fight be in the Garden, but when it comes to what we know about fighters and what we know about that generation of UFC fighters, it's hard for them to walk away. It's really hard for them to walk away, and I understand and I respect it because they put their bodies on the line, but
have you noticed the change in philosophy? It seems like a lot of these younger UFC champs are trying to get a good 5 years into the top in peace. Like Kamaru Usman's already talking about retiring. I'm glad. I'm really glad that this is the wave like these guys are on. Just make as much money as you can and leave on top. Do it the George St. Pierre way. Look how well off George St. Pierre is. He's getting movie roles now. Like, there's something to be said about saving your legacy and going out at the top or near the top. Like, you can really parlay that into other stuff.
And Comedy Jesus, best username of the night, donating $5 to the cause. Some people offering us Dogecoin to show the screen. No, why? If you've got Doge, why are you asking me to show you something when you can obviously pay for it?
Yeah.
That's silly. That's just a waste of your time. Stephen Murphy rooting for Frankie Edgar. Why do people people keep asking us to show the screen. Do people not understand the concept of copyright law? Like in its purest form?
Here's what I don't understand. If you know how to use the internet, you should be able to find you should really be able to find a stream that isn't on YouTube. Get yourself an ad blocker, do a quick Google search, and I promise you it is not buried underneath some sort of secret network. It's quite accessible if that's what you need to do tonight.
Taking a look here. Bill Elder saying something's up with the mic volume, but I think we're coming in at a decent clip. Tyler Durden agreeing with your point regarding legacy, and yeah, also the pay scale is way different now for a lot of these players, so they can make it. And also that generation of UFC, they were there for either the WBC days or the formation of what we know now within the mid or early Zuffa days, like. Frankie Edgar was on the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, if I remember correctly, right? So even then, like, how do you like?
I'll find that out. I'm too. Don't forget. I am but a wee child.
Yeah.
So
just a wee little baby. And now we see Frankie Edgar making his way to the octagon, doing the Ultimate Warrior run-in.
I have your answer.
Yes.
Edgar amassed a 5-0 record before trying out for season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter.
Okay.
But was not selected to be on the show. Instead, received an offer a month later to fight Tyson Griffin.
Someone check it. If Thistle Mac saying Shimiev versus Izzy, make it happen, Dana. Neither of those men are on this card, but yeah, why not? Let's see it. I want to see it.
Dude, Marlon Chito is a scary guy.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't mess around. He won't do interviews. He's just all around terrifying.
He just likes the violence. I'm just here to beat people up for money.
Exactly.
Toker88 saying, "Oh yeah, boys, made it." Toker88, a long time. Glad to have you here. Former UFC lightweight champion Frankie Edgar, 3 successful defenses, notable wins over Yair Rodriguez, Uriah Faber, and BJ Penn 3 times. He's got the most fight time in UFC history: 7 hours, 41 minutes, and 19 seconds. I don't see many, if any, people matching that record, and we might see 15 more minutes added to that time today. Douglas Abramsky saying Edgar via footwork. But if you're just joining us for the first time, I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri, and taking a look at the tail of the tape. Frankie Edgar 40, Marlon Vera 28. Edgar 5'6", Vera's 5'8", both coming in at 135 pounds. Edgar 0.5 pounds heavier. Vera with a 70.5-inch reach advantage. Edgar with a 68-inch reach advantage. Shout out to Stephen Kelleher for donating $5 to the cause. Gray Maynard versus Frankie Edgar rubber match from Scott Tobia on Facebook. Jesus. Why do you want that to happen? Jesus. What's wrong with you? Who hurt you?
Who was the guy who beat? Was it TJ Grant? Canadian guy who looked like he was going to get a title shot, and then he hit his head in an elevator, and that was it?
I think so. I think you're right.
That was a sad case. Speaking of people off the floor with Gray Maynard.
Vera is a -160 favorite walking into this. James C. Jesus. James C. I think it's possible that Covington breaks his jaw again tonight. Well, his jaw wasn't really tested in that fight against Tyron Woodley. Yes. So that could be an interesting thing we see tonight, because jaws, once they break, they can break again, and they might be, depends on how much calcium, how much milk he's been drinking.
I say this having never spoken to Colby Covington a day in my life, but just based on the sort of hero versus villain dynamics at play here, boy, would it be satisfying as a fight fan, as a Kamaru Usman fan, to see him get knocked out cold.
Wouldn't be a bad night at the office. Wouldn't be a bad night at the office.
I forgot to mention. So John Morgan tried to ask Colby a question. I'll save this for later in case we're really close to the fight here.
Tom Anderson will be your referee. We got Frankie Edgar, Marlon Chito Vera, both looking to get off the schneid here. Vera 2-2. And Vera doing a little bit of a primal stance, both men getting into the center of the octagon, showing a lot of activity, a lot of fire in the hands. Edgar stepping in, throwing some lefts and rights, getting right inside Vera's kitchen, stepping right inside in the early going of round number 1. Over 15 seconds gone by. Leg kick landed by Edgar. Vera trying to keep a combination, but Frankie Edgar going on hard mode now. Left hand thrown by Vera might have clipped Edgar a little bit. Edgar going for the takedown, stuck by Vera, getting right back up was Frankie Edgar and Marlon Chito Vera. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Left hook, left overhand landed by Edgar. Leg kick landed by Vera. Left right combination landed by Edgar. Trying to find an opportunity here is Frankie Edgar. 4:10 left to go in round number 1. Leg kick landed by Edgar. Edgar pressing. Vera trying to close in. A right uppercut landed by Frankie Edgar. 4 minutes remaining in the round. Edgar and Vera both with a lot of energy. Both moving very quickly, very nervously around the octagon. Vera in the center. Edgar catches the left leg of Vera, but Vera finds a way out of it. 3:45 left to go in the round. Standing in the center of the octagon, both men. Overhand right again. Trying to make something happen with a takedown was Frankie Edgar. Edgar closer to the fence. Vera in the center of the octagon. Right-left combination landed by Vera. Edgar looking for an opportunity here with 3:25 left to go. Straight left missed by Vera. Trying to create some space here is Marlon Chito Vera. Left-right combination landed by Vera. Head kick blocked by Vera by Edgar. 3:10 left to go in the round. Trying to go for a takedown, and Edgar gets it, rolls through, but gets pulled into a choke, pulled into a guillotine by Vera. Vera pulled a guillotine after the takedown attempt by Edgar. Edgar in trouble here inside the garden, trying to find a way out, and he does, and now on top. But the leg figure four, the left leg figure four by Vera, who is on the bottom here, as Frankie Edgar trying to get into side control, trying to transition into side control, legs wrapped around him now. Great find by Marlon Vera. He has put him into a sitting baby Bjorn, trying to wrap his arms and legs around him to keep Edgar from going off here with 2:31 left to go in the round. Vera now into a variation of a reverse Thez press. His legs wrapped around Frankie Edgar. Edgar standing on both feet, now driving elbows into Vera. 2:19 left to go in the round. Shots to the body, scrambling around the center of the octagon. Edgar on top, Vera with his legs wrapped around him and trying to make something happen here to get the former champion off of his ass. Bionic elbows to the head by Marlon Vera. Now once again draping the legs up the body, now at the midsection. Big elbows from Vera from the bottom. 1:55 left to go in round number 1. Trying to make something happen here. Vera on the bottom, trying to pivot off his right shoulder to get back to a standing position, or at least turn the tide here so he can get on top, or try to pull for a triangle. Wasn't able to, into a firefight on the bottom. And now Edgar pressing that left elbow across the jawbone of Marlon Chito Vera, driving the elbow and the forearm into the face of Marlon Vera. Edgar in control with 1:20 left to go in the round. Bionic elbow again from Vera, wrapping the legs around the body, trying to make something happen as Marlon Chito Vera with 1:13 left to go in the round. Elbows from Edgar. Still legs wrapped around him by Marlon Vera. Up kicks by Vera, landing on the jaw. Ground strikes 32-12 in terms of Vera, but Vera just landing with those long legs, kicking behind the head of Frankie Edgar. 50 seconds left to go in the round. Looking for something here. 40 seconds left to go in round number 1. 35 seconds here in the round. Trying to make something happen, both of these fighters. 30 seconds left to go. Battling for 27 seconds now in the same position. Edgar trying to stand right back up. Vera pressing the right arm around the neck of Frankie Edgar. 17 seconds now. And now Vera having his shoulders pressed into the mat, eating a right elbow from Frankie Edgar. Edgar eating more elbows to the top of the head by Marlon Chito Vera. Vera, impressive showing from the bottom here, and we will end round 1. What a round inside the garden. Nothing but bangers so far, Shaq. What are your thoughts?
Hey, man. It's amazing what Frankie Edgar can still do. He almost, I think, tripled Marlon Vera on total strikes. So although those up kicks looked good, based on how much output Frankie Edgar had on top, I got to give it to him 10-9. It's funny to me. Keep in mind, this was the former lightweight champion of the world with 3 title defenses. Chito Vera is still bigger than him, and we're seeing Frankie Edgar from lightweight down to featherweight, down to bantamweight, and he's still the smaller guy in there somehow. So it's wild to me what a prime Frankie Edgar managed to accomplish at 155.
Yeah, this has been insane so far. Douglas Abramsky saying these fights are just brutal.
Those like tomahawk elbows that Chito Vera is throwing from the bottom are amazing. Like, that guy is violent. That guy's really, really violent, and I'm not confident that Sean O'Malley would have stood a chance whether or not his leg was beat.
Yeah. We're starting round number 2. Vera stepping right up to Frankie Edgar. Edgar creating some distance with a leg kick to the right to the midsection. Standing right in the center of the octagon, trying to make something happen. 15 seconds gone by. Live odds right now, -185 for Edgar, +140 for Marlon Vera. Edgar winning that round, in my opinion, 10-9. Right hand landed by Vera. Shout out to Fury Fleming joining us in the chat. And a quick left-right combination from Frankie Edgar. Vera controlling the center of the octagon, making Edgar pace near the fence. 4:16 left to go in the round. Kick blocked by Edgar. Vera eating a right and a left uppercut by Frankie Edgar, checking the chin of Marlon Chito Vera, going for the takedown again, but Vera finds a way to push off of the former champion Frankie Edgar. Edgar back near the fence. 3:55 left to go in the round. And then back on the ground here, Vera landing those elbows, locking the legs around Edgar, and now getting it higher and higher up the body of Frankie Edgar. Almost had it towards the shoulder blades, trying to get the arms around the armpits. Does for a second, thrashing the legs like he was a child not wanting to get his diaper changed. And Vera trying to pull the triangle, but can't get his legs around the arms of Frankie Edgar, knowing when it's coming, finding a way to stop it. Big elbows here. And right in the situation, 3:10 left to go in the round. Single leg isolation, trying to go for that triangle choke is Marlon Vera. Vera in trouble here, once again taken to the ground by Frankie Edgar. Under 3 minutes now left to go in the round. And just driving the forearms and the elbows, and then an uppercut from top position by Frankie Edgar, finding the point of the jaw. Frankie Edgar has controlled the ground for over 4 minutes so far in this fight, and we are 2:41 left to go in the fight. So for almost over half the fight, Frankie Edgar has controlled on the ground. Both men back up to a standing position now after a good scramble by Vera. Vera landing some shots to the jaw of Frankie Edgar, but Edgar on his bicycle circling around the outside. Vera grabbing and pushing Edgar away. It looked like he was going for a choke slam for a second, and Edgar trying to go for take him to the ground again. Spitting out of it was Vera, and now back to the center of the octagon. Downstairs, upstairs combination by Frankie Edgar. 2:08 left to go in the round. Push kick by Vera. Vera getting Edgar to the corner. Left hand thrown by Vera. Left, right, left combination. 2 left hooks and a right uppercut right to the midsection. Probably as a right hook to the midsection of Vera. Missing with a right overhand was Frankie Edgar. Push kick again, an up kick, pardon me, by Marlon Vera. 1:45 left to go in the round. Left-right combination and then a Muay Thai knee to answer those shots by Vera. Overhand left, missed by Vera. 98 seconds left to go in the round. Kick to the midsection by Marlon Vera. Overhand left, both fighters missing wildly with their shots. Under 90 seconds left to go in the second round. Trying to create some opportunity, trying to create some spaces. Frankie Edgar, who gets hit with a knee by Vera, gets taken down, and now he's on his bicycle trying to run around after Marlon Chito Vera turns the tide with 1:12 left to go, and Edgar answering back with a left and a right combination that sends Vera back a few inches. 1:03 left to go in the round. Push kick trying to keep distance. Both men using their legs now. 57 seconds left to go in the round. Tap jabs by Vera trying to establish distance here with 50 seconds left to go in the round after he got Edgar on his bicycle. Edgar was winning this round, but that knockdown might have turned the tide. Vera finding a way to avoid a leg kick, but served up his jaw to Edgar, who couldn't throw a punch in time. Shifting in a big jumping knee by Vera, almost landing on the jaw of Edgar. Overhand right, barely missing by Frankie Edgar. Straight left jab by Chito Vera. Left kick by Chito Vera. 23 seconds left to go. Tried to grab him and throw a right-handed. Edgar not landing. And Edgar bouncing against the fence, trying to find a way out of this situation. 15 seconds. Burgos gets inside. Switch around. Edgar losing his positioning. Almost slips. Blocks a head kick. 8 seconds left to go. Knee. Vera caught by Frankie Edgar. 4 seconds left to go. Overhand left landed by Edgar. Uppercut by Marlon Vera, missing the head kick, and we will go to round 3. And both men talking shit. They want to go, and Vera flipping off Frankie Edgar. What a motherfucking fight, Shaq. Do the talk speak.
Man, I can't approve anyone flipping off Frankie Edgar. He's like a legend of the sport, a consummate professional. Like, what's going on? Was that a knockdown? It looked like a knockdown, but it was such a weird knockdown, right? Farah threw that knee. Frankie kind of like span around, like fell, got right back up, did a little 360. I don't know what that was exactly, but either way, neither here nor there. Frankie started out the gate strong for that first half. The way Vera started landing frequently and with power, that's a 10-9 for Vera, and we're tied going into round 3.
Yeah, and we are going deeper and deeper into this fight, and now they're using some Sports Center technology to talk about that knee from Marlon Vera.
See. It was it. So no, the knee was in the shoulder.
Yeah, and that led into the takedown. Some beautiful, beautiful work from both of these fighters here. Even while he was on the ground, Vera felt like he was in the fight.
Is it a knockdown if you hit someone with force and that causes them to lose their balance?
Whatever the impetus is for for them hitting the ground, I believe would be that. Someone's asked if we've mentioned Vera's underwear. We have not yet. We don't kink shame, but that's not what we do here. 10 seconds gone by in the round. Vera the aggressor. Frankie getting inside, left, right, left combination, not landing, and then a leg kick. And then a beautiful shots from both fighters. Edgar getting the better of the exchange, going right, left, right, going downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. 4:34 left to go. Head kick blocked by Vera. Over 30 seconds gone by, that left hook from hell. If that landed on Edgar's jaw, we would have a different conversation right now about this fight. A lot of people scoring this one on Twitter, 19-19. Let us know in the chat how you're scoring this one based on what you see and what you hear. Oh, missing with that left uppercut and landing the overhand right. Did Vera, but eating a left to the right to the body, and then a right and a left from Frankie Edgar. 4:04 left to go. Pushing away was Vera, missing with that overhand left right combinations, trying to throw everything he can at Frankie Edgar and Marlon Chito Vera. Edgar trying to be more of the aggressor here with 3:51. Super kick thrown by Marlon Chito Vera right to the midsection. And Edgar once again going for the takedown, going for the right leg this time. Right, left, right combination by Edgar. Not really able to land it, but trying to make something happen here. Shot to the jaw by Vera. 3:34 left to go in the round. Vera eating a left, right, left combination from Edgar. Dancing around 3:25 left to go. Another leg kick by Vera and a straight left landed by Edgar, trying to match that significant strike record we had in the second fight of the night. And remember, we got 2 title fights coming up after this. 2 straight left jabs from Marlon Vera as we are in the 3rd round, getting closer to midnight in New York City. Left, right combination, missing with 2 left jabs was Frankie Edgar. 3:05 left to go here. Shout out to Pitbull. Right, left uppercut combination, not landing by Frankie Edgar. Vera hitching up his right knee before he throws a strike. That's an interesting little tell there from Marlon Chito Vera, stepping in closer. Edgar eating a kick, but then throwing 2 rights and a left. Vera pressing him closer and closer to the cage with 2:41 left to go in this one. Trying to find any opportunity, slap boxing there from Frankie Edgar, giving him a little bit of that South Camden shit with 2:31 left to go. Trying to find any way to stifle Marlon Vera. Leg kick by Edgar. Vera just leaning in with a punch, and it looks like we got another eye poke. 3 fights, 3. Oh, no, it was a mouthpiece falling out. but 3 straight fights where we've seen a stoppage for something, and Vera going right in, right, left, trying to throw those hooks. 2:10 left to go, straight left. Not landed by Vera. Vera eating a right uppercut from Frankie Edgar, throwing a head kick. Edgar barely able to block it. 2 minutes left to go, and another takedown by Frankie Edgar. Vera gets right back up, but Edgar has the back now, slipping his arms down the leg, reverse waistlock applied, pressing Vera against the fence. Vera spins out of it, but eats a left hand for his trouble. They both go to the center of the octagon. Minute 45 left to go. Edgar looking a little more stiff than he's been in this fight so far. Right hand landed by Edgar. Live odds plus 340 for Edgar, minus 550 for Marlon Chito Vera. A lot of people piling the money on for Marlon Vera here. And once this goes to the scorecard, I think all bets are off for who's going to win this fight. Like, just these guys throwing shit at each other here. Beautiful strikes to the head and neck. Vera landing some 2 straight lefts and then eating a couple of lefts of his own from Frankie Edgar. Up kick to the jaw, and it's over. Marlon Chito Vera for the brand like Pat McAfee in the Super Bowl, kicking his head up into the Chase Bridge. Marlon Chito Vera is now 3-2 in his last 5 and gets the win inside the Garden.
Wow. That's some voodoo stuff. We were talking about how dangerous those up kicks were in round 1. And he just continued to show off those strikes, leg kicks, head kicks, punches. So powerful, man. Just so powerful.
He field goal kicked the man.
Yeah.
He kick to the jaw. It wasn't an up kick, but he caught him.
Yeah, but he could generate so much force with that kick from his back, from up close, from a distance. That he's a long guy to generate that power from as close as they were. That's amazing, man.
He was able to literally split the uprights because Edgar had his hands up like this, and then it just went. It was a front kick to the jaw. It was literally a field goal kick. I called it wrong. I apologize, but it was a field goal kick right to the jaw and sent him clean out. Like it was just he hit the light switch and just sent him out.
Oh. Amazing, man. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, wow, that's going to be tough when we talk about performance. Not only are the fight of the night bonuses going to be tough to dole out tonight. It's clear, but we're talking, Billy Q and Shane Burgos or something. Now for performance of the night, we have this front kick KO by Marlon Chito Vera. We have the knee knockout by Alex Pereira in his debut, the guy who KO'd Israel Adesanya in kickboxing, and without a doubt, 100% getting an award is Beast Boy Chris Barnett, who spinning wheel kicked Jean Vellante before finishing him up with ground and pound. So it's good. It's gonna be a wild night for bonuses. That's for sure.
What a night! What a goddamn card! Like we give the UFC a lot of shit on this show, but my God, what a night! Marlon Chito Vera getting the win here.
Yeah, man, what a night! What a night of fights. They delivered on paper, and they're delivering an execution too. This is the sort of stuff that I live for.
Rogelio Lopez giving me a little bit of an out here. It is bringing your foot directly up and kicking with the front ball of your foot, so it is technically
an up kick. Yeah, that's fair.
Oof. But Joe Rogan interviewing Marlon Vera now with the most finishes in bantamweight history with 9.
Dude can throw.
And now it's 11:45 and we still have 2 fights to go.
2 25-minute fights too.
Yeah. So it's going to be a long night at the office. No, I mean in between these fights. Like there's going to be some lag time here.
There really, really is. So.
Forever saying thanks for the live. Yep. Thank you. Stephen Kelleher answering someone else's. Liam Sanchez going to Vegas says, damn, poor Frankie getting sparked consecutively. Kelleher following up. Yes, back-to-back head kick losses. Not looking good for Frankie Edgar. I feel like
the last one was that flying knee from Corey Sandhagen that just absolutely obliterated him. One of the things that we've always sort of credited Frankie Edgar for is his durability, and he showed a lot of durability in this fight. Still, when you're getting one shot knocked out by Sandhagen, one shot knocked out by Ortega, He got finished by Korean Zombie, got finished by Marlon Vera. These are some of the hardest hitters at bantamweight, and they're some of the most dynamic strikers in the division. Still, when you can't compete at the highest level, if that's your goal as a fighter, which Frankie Edgar is in, why are you still fighting? If you're fighting for the paycheck, more power to you, because I'm sure Frankie makes a good penny with his tenure in the UFC.
Yeah.
Start taking Legends fights. Start taking a step back from competition. Maximize your last few years in the sport. But at some point, you got to accept, man. And I put this on Twitter. The fact that Frankie Edgar was so competitive with Marlon Vera 16 years into his pro career is a testament to the fighter that Frankie Edgar is. But age catches up. Time catches up with all of us. If Frankie's not going to retire, it's time to start taking on different kinds of opponents.
Yeah. Scott Toby saying, hello, Gray versus Frankie, a legend fight. Marvin Vittori in the crowd. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri. And we don't have Brendan Sokler this week. We do have Stephanie Sotilli. If this is the first time you're joining us, we're the usual crew here. But there's been, there's something that's been going on.
It's time to play the music.
Oh, no.
It's time to play the lights.
Oh, God.
It's time to bother night on you. Baby, yes.
Hi, Dan.
It was the first time I got through a parody with like the whole line.
Good for you.
I remember nothing.
Dan A. White, obviously not a slight on Dana White because we don't want to get sued. Dan, what are you doing?
I'm a totally different person. And I made a felt.
You are.
Unless Dana White's made a felt.
I don't. Is Shaq
felt comments?
Yes, sorry.
Is Shaq made of? Is Dana made of felt?
I would imagine so, and part of someone's hand apparently.
What am I?
So Dan, what are you doing here?
So I have a problem with you.
You do.
I know that's nothing new.
No, that is not new in the slightest.
Can you get my leg on this table?
There you go. I get the other one too.
First, I don't have insurance. I was watching the show last week, and I have a problem with you.
You got a problem with me?
Specifically you.
Specific. Okay.
So I was watching with a show with one of my concubines. I can't go into detail, but I'll just say I was a pig in space. Does that smell like bacon? Does it?
Ugh. It's you.
Pork. So I was watching a lot of show, and I had to witness you unleash a jaded tirade of emotional hogwash regarding welterweight challenger Colby Chaos Covington.
Okay.
You were yelling how his promos aren't funny. You're listening to wrestling, right?
Yes.
And you made a Chief Wiggum joke in the year of our Lord 2021.
Yeah.
Hey guys, remember when The Simpsons was funny? Because this jackass does.
Why?
So you then said, why do all these media members feel the need to attack our martial artists? These guys do not practice treating others the way they would like to be treated. So I think it's fine to put you under the same scrutinous microscope that you so casually abuse.
Okay.
You have what I like to call toxic insecurity.
Okay.
Because you couldn't punch your way out of a giant paper bag.
I tried once. I succeeded.
Someone to rescue you.
What?
If there's a paper bag, you should put a plastic one on your head.
Thanks.
So I'm going to say that was my 2 cents.
Yes.
That's what I understand. So
would you like?
I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta see my boy T-Bone about some trim. Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
So the puppet doesn't like me. That's no news. That's no news. But fuck you, you fucking puppet, and fuck you for anybody who doesn't like us. How about that? Fuck anybody who thinks that. First of all, you call me a journalist. Fuck you. How about that? I'm not a journalist. I yell at my television for money. That is not journalistic. Damn it. Pants again. Why do you keep throwing pants at me?
Look at my dick. Look at this felt puppet dick.
I don't like it.
Smells like bacon grease.
Fucking God. Why is there a naked? I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri. It's UFC 268. Charlene saying someone is drunk. Kim is able saying Dan sounds like their old bus driver, which, you know, I could see it. UFC 269 is the next time we'll be with you. That'll be December 11th, Saturday night. We'll be right back here on Combat Culture. Brendan will actually be joining us this time. He won't be in Miami. What a card. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena. And we got Jorge Masvidal in action. That one's going to be fun in the prelims for this card, Shaq. This is one hell of a way to end the year.
Dude, amazing. The UFC has gotten better and better about really making these pay-per-views worthwhile. Kind of at the expense of the fight nights, like week over week over week. But once you get through that, once you get to the pay-per-views, they constantly deliver. We're often looking at 2 title fights. We're often looking at big stars outside of the main event co-main. Tonight you had Chandler Gaethje. You have Masvidal versus Leon Edwards at 269. It's a really fun time to be a fight fan.
I'm also just glad that Masvidal Edwards fight is finally happening.
Let's not hold our breath.
3 years? Okay, yeah, let's get
them. Still got like a month.
Yeah, that's true. Someone asking, where's Brandon? Brandon saying I'm here. Brendan is not here. He is in Florida. Thank you for everybody in the chat for referencing that. Thank you, Danny White, for throwing clothes at me again. You can not follow him on Twitter because he was banned. He's been banned from every platform, even ones that don't exist anymore. He got banned from MySpace, like retroactively banned from MySpace. I don't even know how you do that. Taking a look at the chat, we've got Chuck Eshelman from the Yukon. We got people in the fucking Yukon watching us tonight. Douglas Obransky saying Zheng Weili is tough as nails. Bert saying he is awesome. His lips ain't even moving. That is how good Danny White is as a puppet. And as a terrible human being, fantastic puppet. That's also going to be my gravestone. That's going to be my epitaph. Matt Ryan, amazing puppet, terrible person. I'm getting ready for the co-main event. Shaq, put me on the spot. Who's winning this fight?
I'll go Rose Namajunas. I think very highly of Zheng Weili, but Rose hasn't given me much reason to doubt her, so we'll go. I expect it to be much like the first Joanna fight versus the second Joanna fight between her and Rose. I suspect this one will be much more competitive than that head kick knockout we had the first time. I do think Zheng Weili is going to be more mentally prepared. Plus, the New York City crowd has been far, far more welcoming. She was actually speaking in, candidly, I don't know if they're speaking Mandarin or Cantonese, but she was speaking in a Chinese language to one of the reporters, and cheers would break out when she would start speaking in her native tongue. So I know they were simulating, like they had simulated boos going on when she was fighting. Henry Cejudo was throwing out "Go back to China" at her, just trying to get her like emotionally and mentally prepared to sort of block out any hate that might be coming her way. But the New York crowd has seemed to embrace her, which I'm happy to see. And so it'll be a damn good fight. I don't suspect it's interesting to me that these odds are still. I think Rose Namajunas deserves to be a favorite. I know the odds were going back and forth all week long, all month long leading into this. It will be a damn good fight.
Yeah. Got Bipolar Express saying, and new Bipolar Express, my favorite tag team from the 80s. Mr. Woods cheering for Zhang from Arkansas. We got people all across the world watching us. Jesse saying Thug Rose sounds gangster as fuck. It does sound
Thug Rose. Do you want some stats at any point?
Yeah, hit me with some stats.
Let me hit you up with some stats here. Okay, let's look at these. I know you'll get to the records and stuff, so let me try and separate what I can here. Takedown. We'll start with the striking. 4.13 strikes landed per minute for Rose Namajunas. 6.36 for Zheng Weili. I imagine that's a combination of short fights and that drag-out war with Joanna Jędrzejczyk that left her head looking like an overgrown tumor. 40% striking accuracy for Rose versus 45 for Zheng Weili. Strikes absorbed. Again, let's credit that to the Joanna fight. Rose Namajunas at 3.99. Zheng Weili at 4.42. Strike defense, 60% for Rose Namajunas, 53% for Zheng Weili. I see it. Rose's movements, along with Usman and Gaethje's, have all gotten way better under Trevor Whitman. Takedown averages 1.89 versus 1.29 for Rose. Takedown accuracy 53% versus 23% for Zheng Weili. Takedown defense, this is where it gets interesting, 50% for Rose Namajunas. So she lands takedowns at a far higher clip, but she gets taken down half the time versus Zheng Weili, who's got a perfect record, no takedowns against her in the octagon. So will be interesting to see how that breaks down.
Logical Idowit, I believe, sharing the Lithuanian flag in the chat. Stephen Kelleher bringing up an interesting point, kind of echoing what you said. Look at what Rose did to Joanna with her versus 5 rounds with Weili. That's it's going to be an interesting one. We got Cannibal 74. Real Cannibal. He's a fine young Cannibal. Zhang voting for Zhang out in Phoenix. Brandon saying Rose always does better when she's the underdog. That's an interesting point. But then you bring up the second the Jędrzejczyk fight. I considered her a favorite going into that second fight. So that's an interesting one. Douglas Abramsky saying, did you see Rose's seps though? Biceps? Yes, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Mad Link saying Thug Rose and because of Trevor Whitman will not lose. Natalia 19124, longtime fan of the show. Glad to see you, Natalia, in the chat as always. Shout out Philly and picking Rose Namajunas. Kim is able saying Rose by right hook. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting fight here tonight. And you see Zheng Weili getting ready to walk into the octagon, walking in his challenger, coming off her second ever loss. Shaq, she had 21 wins between losses. That's absurd to me. She defeated Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Jessica Andrade, and Tecia Torres all in her UFC career. Had only one successful title defense, though, but one fight of the night against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, a performance of the night against Jessica Andrade. She was 2020 Fight of the Year against Jędrzejczyk. Former UFC Strawweight champion, the first and only Chinese UFC champion, third highest strike rate in the UFC history. As you said before, 6th highest strike differential in strawweight history. This is going to be a mother effer of a fight. Jerome Longoria saying Weili will retake the belt. Mozu rooting for Weili Zhang. Thug Rose by stoppage according to Green 74. Anjali Figueroa voting for Thug Rose. Douglas Abramsky saying it's interesting how the stats say Zhang is quite superior. It's going to be interesting how the stats compare to the what we actually see in the cage. The interesting thing about Namajunas is she's lost the title both times to Jessica Andrade and when she lost the title the first time to Jessica Andrade, that was a freak knockout. She won the belt back with a freak knockout. That's an interesting thing. I think that trend continues tonight. I think something big is going to happen. I think we get past the first 2 rounds as Rose Namajunas makes her way to the octagon. I really think we're going to see something happen big in this fight, and it's going to be in the 2nd or 3rd round. I don't think we're going to see championship rounds here tonight. I think we're going to see this one end before we go into the 4th round.
And the strawweights deliver. If people don't know yet, shame on you. Everyone should know after Zheng Weili versus Joanna, but the strawweights come out and they fight. And again, it's a card where if Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler wasn't on it, everything else could be fight of the night.
Yeah.
Here we are, man. Here we are. It's going to be amazing. Rose Namajunas getting a warm reception from the Madison Square Garden audience.
On the night, we saw the most strikes landed in UFC history, in over 700 strikes. That's like one of the. It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue against that empirically being the fight of the night. But then you have everything else that you've seen on this main card, and you're like, how do you decide? Like, do you just throw money at everybody? You just go to I think Dana's going like to all the concession stands now in the Garden and just asking for all of the money so he can just throw it at all of them. Just taking loose change and just throwing it at people in locker rooms. Here's your bonus. Please take all of the money.
Rose Namajunas, man, Pat Barry's arm is like 4 Rose Namajunas. Neither here nor there. Rose sticking by her "I am the best" gimmick, chanting it on her way to the octagon is what she was telling herself in the cage as she was being introduced for that first fight. And a big part of this sort of Rose Namajunas resurgence story has been the toll that being a champion took on her the first time. If you remember that free KO, she had a Kimura on Jessica Andrade. She basically just picked her up and slammed her on her head, and it was over. And it was illegal because Rose did it to herself. She could have let go of the Kimura, but she committed to it, and hence why she landed on her head. But what came out of that was a lot about how Rose mentally and emotionally was very fatigued by the responsibilities that come with being a UFC champion, whether or not you should have those responsibilities. You know, you're face of the company now. And is that why she lost to Jessica Andrade the first time? We don't know, but we will see if her psychology inside and outside the cage has really, really improved. We're about to find out because she looked so slick the first time against Zheng Weili. We'll see if it's the same.
The height and reach advantage is falling in a very close margin, very slim margin between both of them. A 2-inch reach advantage and about a 1-inch height advantage here in this fight. We are in the co-main event. It's 5 rounds for the UFC Strawweight title. The judges are Michael Bell, Eric Colon, and Doug Crosby. Mark Goddard, the referee for this co-main event. This one is going to be insane. And Jonathan Ron Cohen said Rose is the new age mental health poster child. And yeah, she's been very open and honest about her struggles with mental health. And that's one of the reasons why I love Rose Namajunas. Like, not to talk about all of the socio-political conversations surrounding this fight. You talk about these two fighters. It's hard to root against either fighter just because of their journey, how they got here. And, you know, Rose Namajunas' open honesty about her mental health, about her struggles, about trying to be a champion. Shout out to Super Adam Cox donating $9.99 to the cause. Love listening, guys. Thanks. Well, we thank you too for being a part of the conversation, being a part of the fun. Just if you're just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan. You can follow me on Twitter at MRyan Consulting. You can follow Shaq up there in the van at Shaq_Fu on the Twitter machine. Stephanie Sotilli on the other side of the fake glass. You can follow her at Steph Sotilli. Seeing a Chinese fan in the crowd chanting for Zhang as she has introduced Rose Namajunas, 11-4, standing at 5'5", 115 pounds, a plus 105 underdog, walking in with the title tonight. Really weird seeing the champion as the underdog. That is a really
after she won via first round head kick KO. This isn't like a Hamza Chimaev coming out. No. This is the person she just beat.
Yeah, and also that's her second reign as champion too. Hold'em finally got his broccoli crusted tomato pie with spinach, feta, and mozzarella in the oven. Everything the broccoli crust in there sounds amazing. I just don't like broccoli crust. It's weird to me. But we've got this co-main event here. Mark Goddard, both fighters touching gloves in the center while Mark Goddard gives the instructions. And Bruce Buffer's jacket is just immaculate. Like, it's the most beautiful velvet jacket I've ever seen in my life because it feels like what a country club would feel like. Like it feels like Bushwood Country Club if it were a jacket. And Rose Namajunas, Zhang Weili, both ready to go inside Madison Square Garden. And here we go, our co-main event for the UFC Strawweight Championship. Both fighters frantically standing around the octagon. Zhang Weili strikes first with a leg kick, using that right leg, switching up her stance, now leading with her left. Namajunas also leading with her left, keeping her right hand up, trying to find an opportunity. Leg kick to the knee by Zhang. Both fighters circling the octagon, near 30 seconds gone by. Namajunas controlling the center, allowing Zhang to step right back into the center after dipping around into the outside layer of the octagon. In the center ad, now towards the first level of ads, is Zhang Weili getting back into that second level of ads near the fence. Zhang missing with a leg kick, spinning around. 4:12 left to go in round number 1. Zhang using those leg kicks to keep Namajunas at bay. You got to wonder, she's just thinking right now, get out of this first round, try to survive this first round, and then you might have her where you want her. 3:55 left to go in round number 1. Namajunas circling in, getting closer as Zhang throws to get Namajunas away from her as Zhang gets closer and closer to the fence. 3:45 left to go in round number 1. Leg kick by Namajunas, followed up by one by Zheng. Inside leg kick. Namajunas throwing some lefts and rights, catching the jaw of Zheng, but Zheng back in this one. 3:33 left to go in the round, and Namajunas getting in closer, trying to get Zheng up against the fence. Trumps inside with a swinging left hand. Did not land all the way. Zheng leading with her left now, trying to find an opportunity. Head kick attempt by Namajunas, not landing. Head kick blocked by Namajunas. Standing in the center of the octagon, 3:16. What left to go in the round? Standing in the center of the octagon is Namajunas. Zheng Weili getting closer, but stepping further and further away now. Missing with the head kick. Namajunas comes in, misses with a few shots, couple of punches and a leg kick. Leg kick landed by Zheng, but Namajunas throwing some lefts and rights to the head of Zheng, throwing an overhand left with Zheng to keep her away from Namajunas' fist. Now in a grappling situation. Namajunas taken down by Zheng. Zheng trying to pivot over. Now has both legs around the left leg and trying to get Namajunas to open up, maybe trying to pull for a submission here. Now Namajunas wrapping her arms and legs around Zheng Weili, trying to scramble out of this. Zheng on top here, now pulled in. Now holding on is Rose Namajunas. Namajunas trying to walk her legs up over the shoulders of Zheng Weili, maybe trying to pull a triangle. In an opportunity here, Zheng on top, 2:20 left to go in the round. Zheng trying to control the pace of this fight. Namajunas has her legs hooked in to Zheng Weili. Now trying to pull the submission. Namajunas gets the legs up, but yet Zheng pulling through the legs, pulling through the guard, getting right back down. Now standing up is Zheng, landing a right hand to the jaw of Namajunas. Now in a pseudo Walls of Jericho setup position, diving down with a right hand with Zheng. Namajunas trying to keep her at bay with a right hand and now wraps around the neck of Zheng, who is on top of her, punching Namajunas in the ribs. 1:45 left to go in round 1 of 5 in the UFC Strawweight division. Trying to take the leg again is Zheng as Namajunas gets right back up. Another takedown by Zheng, but Namajunas standing right back up, trying to grapple in a Muay Thai clinch. Both fighters now trying to lock in that clinch. Missing with a left forearm was Namajunas. Zheng Weili has turned the tide of this fight and taken control in a brief moment after her and Namajunas got into a mad scramble on the canvas. Minute 17 overhand right, missing by Namajunas. A right and a left landed by the challenger. Straight left, Zheng with a right hand and a head kick that both land. Namajunas walking through it, but that had to hurt. Minute 5 left to go in the round. Both fighters not depleted, but trying to find openings. 1 minute exactly left to go in the round. Head kick missed. Leg kick missed by Namajunas. Straight left missed by Zheng. Zheng just trying to punch to find reach, trying to keep away. Rose Namajunas inside. Left hook by Namajunas lands on the jaw. Overhand right, missing wildly by Zheng Weili. 41 seconds left to go in the first round of 5. Trying to create any opportunity here is Zheng Weili to try to win this round. Namajunas circling in, trying to get in closer. Feigning a leg kick, does not throw it. 28 seconds left to go in the round. 22 seconds now. Trying to make something happen. Leg kick thrown by Zheng Weili. 15 seconds left to go. Zheng Weili near the outside, near the fence of the octagon. Namajunas getting Zheng back. Overhand right. Zheng took a tumble. Now with 5 seconds left to go in the round, Namajunas tried to capitalize, but Zheng fought her way out of it. We'll go to round 2.
Just as I was trying to decide who won that round, Rose Namajunas pulls through, makes my job easy. Hey, man. The odds are going back and forth all week. We see now why. It was competitive. I think Rose had the advantage on the feet pretty clearly, but Zheng Weili did well on the ground. And I'm actually looking at the replay. It was a slip. It was not a knockdown. I almost gave it to Zheng Weili. If she had maintained that top control the whole time, for sure it would have been Zheng Weili, because she was just accumulating strikes in a fight where damage was basically the same. I do think Rose landed some more impactful shots overall, though. So it's a close fight. It was a close round.
It was an intensely close round. It's a toss-up for me. This second round is going to be, hopefully, a clearer round. And we will get started here in the second round of this rematch in our co-main event here tonight. Inside Madison Square Garden, round number 2 begins. Namajunas being the aggressor, getting Zheng closer and closer to the fence. 4:53 to go. Zhang lands first with a leg kick to the knee. Left-right combination, landing the overhand left, not landing the right, was Zhang. Namajunas controlling the center of the octagon. Zhang pacing around. Head kick missed by Zhang. 4:40 left to go. And Zhang trying to find any way to get inside and land some shots on Rose Namajunas. But that is a dangerous game, and you don't want to play dangerous games with Rose Namajunas. But Zhang has made it past the first round. She did better than she did in that first fight. Someone giving it 10-9 to Zhang, and his Twitter mentions pop up on the screen while we're watching here. 4:19 left to go. Overhand left, missed by Zheng Weili. Both fighters slowing down production here in the early goings of round number 2, knowing it's a 5-round fight. Overhand rights and lefts landed by Namajunas. Zhang coming inside, landing a couple of shots too. Switching up her stance was Namajunas, trying to find any chance here, any advantage with over a minute gone by here in the second round. Zhang, the more bouncy of the two fighters, a lot of frenetic energy from the former champion. Head kick missed by Namajunas. Head kick feigned by Namajunas, not throwing it here. 3:45 left to go in the round. Namajunas missing with an overhand right, feigning shots with Zheng Weili, not able to land him. Kick attempt by Namajunas, not landing, in a right hand by Zhang. Couple of shots from Namajunas, but 2 right hands to the jaw got Namajunas on a back pedal for a second. Shots from both fighters, lefts and rights flying with the fury here. Overhand shots from both fighters going nuts here. 3:13 left to go in the round. They slow it down for a second. Zhang stepping away from a right hand by Namajunas. Throwing some really tight hooks was Zheng Weili. They're not landing. Head kick missed by Zhang. 3 minutes left to go in the round. Overhand whoosh. Rocky 3 ending lefts and rights from Zhang, and Namajunas not landing, but powerful head kick attempt by Namajunas to Zhang does not land. Leg kick, and then both fighters throwing wild rights. Zhang landing it a little harder than Namajunas. 2:38 left to go in the round. Zhang closer to the fence will step inside. Namajunas giving her the space to return to the center. 2:30 left to go, but Zhang stepping back further and further away from the middle of the octagon. Zheng Weili gets hit with a right, missing the left was Namajunas to the jaw. Tried to go for a 2-piece special, head kick blocked. Namajunas comes in charging with a shot, does not land it. A grapple attempt by Zhang did not go. Both fighters standing, 2:09 left to go. Leg kick by Zhang to the ankle. Namajunas checking that ankle and then kicking the inside of Zhang's thigh, kicking the outside of the knee. Leg kicks right now, 14-9 in favor of Zheng Weili to Rose Namajunas. Both fighters, Namajunas continues to change up her stance, and Namajunas gets clocked, bounces off the fence, and Zhang on the offense. Leg kick missing with the left was Zhang. Zhang catches the ankle. Namajunas takes her down, spins around on it, and now pulling both legs up. We talked about the walls of Jericho before. Looks like she's trying to catapult her up kick attempt by Namajunas. Namajunas gets Zhang down to the ground, and now in the mount, trying to make something happen. Zhang on top. Rose Namajunas pressing her right leg into the thigh, right into the hip joint of Zheng Weili, trying to press her off and get back up. We're back into the same situation we were in round number 1. Zhang punching down on Namajunas, isolating, picking that left ankle. But right now, Zheng Weili Namajunas stands up, beats a couple of shots, 1 minute left to go in the round. Zheng Weili may be up 2-0 here if we get into this final 53 seconds. Namajunas eating a shot, throwing, and now another takedown. But Zhang stops it, kind of did a bit of a b-boy move to avoid being taken down by Namajunas. Namajunas trying to pick inside the right thigh and scoop up Zheng Weili. And now Zhang isolating the right arm. Zhang gets pushed down by Namajunas. Great use of her power there by the champion. 28 seconds left to go in the round. Zhang having to expend energy, having Namajunas right on top of her as she tries to push someone with the same amount of weight on her across the octagon, dragging ostensively dead weight, trying to push Namajunas away with an elbow strike. But now Namajunas on top, trying to go into side control, trying to maybe get back into the full mount, but pressed up against the fence is Zhang. Namajunas stands up, lands a right hand, and that's the end of the round.
Good fight. The odds were just right on this one. I'm going to give it 10-9 Zheng Weili, because she did rock. She did stumble Rose Namajunas. And can't really, sometimes I'm like flipping between screens. So that was I got a little overexcited. In the first round, I think it was a knockdown and it was a slip. So I'm seeing a lot of 10-9s for Zheng Weili. That's probably right based on the top control. So New York judges, they might be paying attention with the same level of dedication that I am. But I would guess the right scorecard is probably 2018 Zheng Weili. I'll give a lot of credit to Rose. She was rocked, yet she was still able to flick up that like side kick to the head that prevented Zheng Weili from coming in for the finish. So Rose Namajunas is a champ, but she's gotta do something to change the pace of this fight over the last 3 rounds.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for the nice words. Jay Mason 0828 saying, appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you. Albert saying, take a bath, moron. I probably will, with a beautiful joint at the end of this. Cat's Meow asking, where's Brendan? Brendan is in Miami. It's legal here. Joden Shorney saying, I'm going to have a heart attack and laughing at the WWE references. Well, you're welcome. That's what we do here. We provide a service. Round 3 beginning. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri, Stephanie Sefilian, Olive the Fat Baby. Head kick attempt not landed by Namajunas. Quick kick to the thigh by Zheng Weili. Missing with a leg kick was Zhang. Kick to the knee. And Rose tried to press pop on that knee, and that one could have ended badly for the champion. Here in the 3rd round, head kick blocked by the champion. Namajunas keeping pressure here, down 2-0 according to our unofficial scorecard, which is being written backwards by a dog on crayon. So you know that they're not really that official, but who the hell knows? Left-right combination. Zhang just trying to like find some rhythm with her punches. Live odds right now, -105 for Namajunas, -125 for Zhang. It is a toss-up according to DraftKings. Right hand landed by Zhang. Kick landed by Namajunas, but another left by Zhang. 408 left to go. Missing wildly with a right hand was Zhang, but getting a swift kick to the ribs on Namajunas, but not enough power on it here in the 3rd round. Standing in the center of the octagon. If you're asking for a stream, quit being a douchebag and just listen along or buy the fights. 3:48 left to go. Both fighters pacing around in the center of the octagon. Rose dead center. Zhang closer to the fence, trying to find a way to stymie the current champion while the challenger is up 2-0, at least in the way this fight has been going so far. Namajunas controlling the center. Like this is kind of the same pattern we saw in the beginning of both the 1st and 2nd round. Namajunas controlling the center. Zhang trying to find a way inside, lands an overhand left on Namajunas, but does not get all of it because Namajunas was pressing away. She was feigning away. So it was a glancing blow more than anything. 3:10 left to go. Overhand right from Zhang, not landing, but you can see and almost feel the power on that one. Leg kick missed by Zhang. Spinning back fist also missed. Namajunas tried to step inside and check what was going on in Zhang's kitchen, but not able to get anything going in there. 2:51 left to go. Leg kick pulled away by Namajunas. 2:47 left to go in the 3rd round. Overhand right landed by Namajunas. Not able to answer is Zheng Weili. Namajunas trying to land a left, eats a leg kick. Overhand right missed by the challenger, but a left kick right to the rib cage by Zheng Weili. 230, both fighters missing with devastating overhand rights, both barely missing each other, throwing everything into that punch, not landing, back to square one. 220 left to go. Leg kick missed by Zheng Weili. Two of the best fighters on the planet Earth throwing down here on pay-per-view. We're so glad to be joining you from Combat Culture. 2:10 left to go. Both fighters in the center of the octagon. We got a quick fire fight. Namajunas missed with a shot, came right inside, dipping into Zheng Weili's shoulder. She ate a right hand, quick combination, but now both fighters missing. Zheng Weili is down from a left hand by Rose Namajunas, gets right back up, turns it around and presses Namajunas against the fence. That there in a brief moment was the best shot Namajunas had to end this fight and was not able to, but a great shot by the champion. Minute 40 left to go. Namajunas pressed against the fence, a shoulder strike and 2 shoulder strikes by Namajunas. The second one more devastating, hitting the jaw, right in the jaw lining of Zheng Weili. Minute 27 left to go in the round. Overhand left by the challenger to get the champion away. A minute 21 now. Let both fighters landing leg kicks. Zhang throwing a devastating left that looked like it could have killed Namajunas if she caught it full on. Leg kick landed by Zhang to the knee. Missing with the right hand, leading with the right was Namajunas, looking tired, hunched over, both hands near her face, right hand higher than her left. Zhang, both hands down, around the chin, overhand right, missing with the uppercut was Zhang. Namajunas getting a strike in there herself. 53 seconds left to go in the round. Leg kick, Namajunas eats a left hook, and so does Zhang. 31-27 in Namajunas' favor in shots to the head. 5-14 in favor of Zhang. 15-24 in terms of leg strikes for Zheng Weili. 37 seconds left to go in the round. Namajunas got the worst of an exchange just a moment ago. Zhang trying to go for a takedown with 30 seconds left, trying to make this a more even round after the knockdown attempt. Now taking the back of Rose Namajunas, trying to pull Rose Namajunas, trying to go for her 8th career submission. Namajunas has only submitted once in her career, not looking to do it for a second time. Rolls over now, takes the back, now trying to pull the RNC, trying to pull the back, takes the back, tries to get the RNC. Namajunas, great defense, scrambles it. Now on top is Zheng Weili. 3 seconds left to go in the round, trying to land some punches, and we are going into the championship rounds. Shaq, I was a fool thinking this fight was going to end before we go to the 4th. Neither fighter will yield. What are your thoughts? Man,
I sound like a broken record at this point, but everyone needs to be getting a fight of the night bonus on this main card. These women are champions. This is championship heart. I was about to give a 10-9 to Rose because she did drop Zheng Weili. She hurt her with a couple of punches. I'm still going to lean that way. The outpour of full mount strikes at the end was good. Maybe if it landed another 10 seconds, we would have seen some real damage. But I think the clock kind of worked against Zheng Weili in those final 10 seconds. Close round. Most of them have been. Since I retroactively scored that first round for Zheng Weili, I'm going to call it 29-28 for Weili. But Rose starting to turn the tide a little bit in these championship rounds, which is her responsibility. Now it's anyone's fight. If Zheng Weili had taken 3 straight, Rose is back against the wall. It's New York. These judges are about as well equipped as I am to score this. I don't know what's going to happen.
Back into the 4th round now. Thank you so much, Shaq, for your analysis. You can follow him on Twitter at Shaq_Fu. See some of his great content here on the Combat Culture channel. Do yourself and subscribe. If you're liking what you're liking and you're a part of it, want to be a part of this, like, comment, and subscribe. 15 seconds gone by. No action yet. Both fighters moving kind of like line dancing, following each other around the cage. Right hand landed by Weili Zhang. 29-28, according to somebody on the Twitter machine, according to the UFC. 430 overhand right missing, but a left and a beautiful overhand left. A flying left by Zheng Weili. 422 overhand rights by both fighters missing here. What a fight we've got inside Madison Square Garden. You show up in MSG, you better fucking deliver. And both of them have delivered. Zheng pulls the ankle, pick the ankle. Namajunas on her back, trying to kick away. Namajunas kicked out Zheng Weili's ankle from the bottom. She was on the ground, kicked out the ankle. Both fighters popping back up. My God, what a fight. Overhand right, barely glancing, was Namajunas, eating a bit of a shot from Zhang. Whew. 3:48 left to go in round number 4. We are in championship rounds. This is deep water territory for both fighters. Namajunas trying to go for a Zorro kick. The leg went into a backward Z formation to try to kick out the jaw of Zheng Weili. Zhang leading with the left, eats a left-right combination from the champion. Namajunas going for an overhand right, leaves her leg open, and now standing in the center, Namajunas taking the back. Getting her back taken, by Zheng Weili. Now in a prayer position, trying to find a way out of it. Now trying to backpack is Zheng Weili. Namajunas with her head and her knees on the canvas. Zhang trying to find any way to pull up onto the neck and take the back. Thank you so much to Pat Giblin Songs for donating $5 to the cause. Right now, 5 of 10, Zheng Weili, 50% on takedowns, but able to pull 5 takedowns so far on Namajunas, rolling back. And now Rose Namajunas has given her back to Zheng Weili. Weili trying to fight out of the submission intent. 2:44 left to go in the fourth round. Rose Namajunas in trouble. Zheng Weili trying to pull the RNC, has her legs wrapped around the champion, trying to get that hand right underneath the jaw and pull it over, and Namajunas flips it over. Namajunas now on top, trying to pull guard, trying to find a way to posture up here on Zheng Weili. Elbow by Zheng Weili. 2 elbows with the right elbow to the point of the head of Rose Namajunas. Left hand by Zheng. Namajunas trying to get into side control, trying to find a way to turn the tide here in the fourth round. She won the third. She's trying to win the fourth. Pulls it over, trying to get back on top now, but Zheng Weili holding tight, holding on to dear life. Right now is Zheng Weili to the neck and wrapping her legs around the body of the champion. Minute 54 left to go in the fourth round, the penultimate round of our co-main event. Namajunas trying to just tire out or create an opportunity here. Try to control from the ground. Namajunas trying to press up. Her right knee at a 90-degree angle. Her left knee pressed up against the canvas. As Zheng Weili wrapping her legs, trying to press her legs up the body of Rose Namajunas. Maybe try to pull a triangle. Presses the knee into the midsection. Zheng from the bottom landing some shots. Namajunas getting right back on top. Significant strikes. 15-17 in the first round for Zheng. 17-17 in the third. 14-18 for Zheng in the, the second. 17-17. 17-18 for Zheng in the third round. And a little closer and contentious in the fourth. Shout out to Silver Manic Attack. Great name, donating $5 to the cause. Namajunas standing, throwing a right, trying to get something going. Under a minute left to go in this fight. If you're just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan calling the action for you. Shakiel Mahjouri over in Vancouver. Stephanie Sotilli on the other side of the glass, making sure being the one to shout you out in the chat. 40 seconds left to go in this round. 38 seconds left to go in the round. Namajunas still on top of Zheng Weili. Weili wrapping her arms and legs around the torso of Rose Namajunas. Namajunas postures up. Pressing that forearm is Zheng Weili, using that forearm and that elbow to not only hurt Namajunas, but keep distance. Namajunas comes down with a clubbing blow onto the face of the former champion. 13 seconds left to go in the fourth round, trying to make something happen. 5 seconds, and we will go to the fifth and final round unless something miraculous happens. And what a round, what a fight. Shaq, what are you thinking?
Hey, these rounds, if you just looked at those significant strike tallies, these rounds have been ultra close. Though there have been sort of power differences in each round, knockdowns here and there. That one was definitely Rose's round. It was close in terms of the damage, and that's when you start sort of deferring to stuff like grappling edge and the top control. So I have it scored 2-2 going to the fifth round. It's anyone's fight, but I've seen everything from 2-2 to 3-1 scorecards for Zheng Weili. So who knows? These have all been so close. I wouldn't be very surprised if we saw like 50-45 one way, 49-46 the other.
I think we're gonna get a split. If we survive these last 5 minutes, we're gonna see a split decision. I honestly believe we're going to see a split decision. Thank you, everybody, for the nice comments in the chat. We got SoCal Derek shouting out Thug Rose, and we are just, it's going to be an interesting one here. The garden is electric. This room is electric. You can see the hair standing up on end right here in the studio. It is the fifth round. Let's fucking go. Namajunas charging in, Zheng Weili missing with a spin kick, and it looks like we have to stop for a second. Namajunas losing her mouthpiece. Every fight in the final round so far tonight, it's either been an eye poke or a missing mouthpiece. In every fight of the main card, plus 120 for Namajunas, minus 160 for Zheng. The odds have changed in the challenger. Well, the challenger has remained the favorite. At one point, it was even, but now Zheng taking back the lead as the favorite in this fight, throwing some devastating right hands, not able to land all of them. Namajunas just coming in with like a weird double axe handle, kind of came in with both of her forearms, going after Zheng Weili. 4:19 left to go in round number 5. Leg kick attempt missed by Namajunas. Prior to that, an overhand left missed by Zheng Weili. 4:08 left to go in the round. Namajunas looking tired here. Zhang looking a little more energetic. Both of them very active in how they're moving. Frantic, frenetic energy. Namajunas comes in and takes the takedown. And now trying to go into side control. But Zheng Weili grapevining one of Namajunas' legs. Actually pinning both legs down with her left leg, and now elbowing the top of Zheng Weili's head. Namajunas 2 for 2 on takedowns. Zhang is 5 for 10 the last time we checked. And Zhang trying to basically go for a surfboard on Namajunas, not being able to pull it off. And right now, Namajunas isolating the left leg of Zheng Weili, keeping her pinned down on the ground, playing keep away with her right arm. And now on top, in control, is Rose Namajunas, trying to press up and then lands a right hand and immediately gets into side control, but pulled back in the mount by Zheng Weili after trapping her torso with her right leg. Posturing up as Namajunas stands back up kicks from Zhang, and Namajunas comes right back down in the mount, pressed on top of Zhang. Under 3 minutes left to go, 2:53 to be exact. Namajunas trying to posture up here. Postures up, throws some devastating shots, stands back up kicks by Zhang, pulls her in. Live odds right now, -195 for Namajunas, +145 for Zhang. This fight alternating back and forth in terms of the live odds. Namajunas now the favorite, Zhang the underdog at +145. Namajunas walked into this fight as the champion and the underdog. Namajunas trying to get into side control. She's kind of there, but Zhang interlocking the left knee of Namajunas, wrapping both of her ankles, basically interlocking them, trying to go for a figure 4 position on the leg of Namajunas. Namajunas trying to stand up, trying to get her entire body up. She does, throws another right-handed Zhang. She's popped up and thrown her right and gotten back on top, and thrashing her legs is Zheng Weili. Zheng Weili trying to get her arms over the shoulders, onto the shoulders of Rose Namajunas to try to pull a triangle, try to end this fight, just try to end it any way she can. Ground control time for Rose Namajunas has been 5:08. So over a round of ground control for Rose Namajunas. A beautiful fight from both fighters, but right now Namajunas looking to pull away with this one with 91 seconds left to go in the fight. Namajunas battling a very tired Zheng Weili, and Zheng Weili once again kicking Namajunas from the ground, pulling her back into this, and then elbows from the challenger. Posturing up, trying to press off of the hips of Zheng Weili is Rose Namajunas as we get to 1:08 left to go in this fight. A classic in a night of classics inside the world's most famous arena. We are 1 minute away from the scorecards here in New York City. Namajunas pressing on the left thigh of Zheng Weili, now trying to get into a variation of side control, pulled back in the mount by Zhang. 45 seconds left to go. Zhang flat on her back. Namajunas trying to posture up, but Zhang not allowing it. Bionic elbows from the bottom, a right hand from Namajunas, and then once again those thrashing kicks by Zheng Weili. Zheng Weili doing anything and everything to try to gain the advantage, but eating a left hand from Namajunas, who comes directly back on top into the mount. 22 seconds left to go in the fight. And now maybe trying to pull maybe a guillotine from the bottom, not able to get into enough position with Zheng Weili. 12 seconds left to go in this fight. And 8 seconds left to go. Namajunas not able to knock out Zheng Weili like she did in the first one. But this has been a close and contentious contest inside the world's most famous arena. And a hug from Rose Namajunas after both of these warriors went in and did what they did best. Shaq, your thoughts before we go to the scorecards?
48-47, Rose Namajunas, who turned the corner in those last 3 rounds. But I saw a lot of scorecards that were 3-2 for Zheng Weili across the first 3. So I don't know how this is going to shape out. Like you said, a split decision sounds entirely possible. Now, I got to say, for me, the difference between these two was their tenacity on the bottom. When Rose Namajunas was at the bottom, she was bicycle kicking, she was shrimping, she was not accepting bottom position. Zheng Weili, she tried. Rose was doing a good job of grabbing her feet and not letting her sort of make that movement. But it seemed like Zheng Weili, maybe she was tired, maybe it was a technique deficit, wasn't as eager as she needed to be, trying to get off her back. And what we've learned in modern MMA, based on how good everyone's ground game is, you can't sit in the guard anymore. Unless you're a Charles Oliveira or Damian Maia, you're not going to get a submission 99 times out of 100 off your back. So you need to be kicking off and doing everything you can to get standing, where it was way more competitive.
And a shout out to Kawasaki School making a Sakuraba reference. What a fight. What a night. We got David Wong saying Zhang 3-2. Bobby Williams saying and still. Jimmy Young Manitalk. Toker 88 saying that Namajunas won. What a fight. What a night. Canelo Alvarez defeated Caleb. 11th round TKO, knocking out Caleb Plant, stopping it with 155 left to go in the 11th. Canelo Alvarez, at 31 years old, the super welterweight champion, middleweight champ. He has held nearly every belt. He has become the first undisputed super middleweight champion. So Canelo Alvarez doing Canelo Alvarez things tonight on Showtime pay-per-view, which is weird to say. And we're going to get ready to see the official decision. Bobby Williams, it was full guard, not mount. I apologize. I said the wrong word. A lot is going on at once here. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's happening in the fight. So tired. So very tired.
Yeah, let me know if I'm missing the decision.
We're getting to it now. After 5 rounds, we're going to the judges' scorecards. Bruce and Halle Berry will award the winner of the belt. Michael Bell scores the contest. 48-47, Weili Zhang. I called it was going to be a split decision. Doug Pauly scores it 48-47, Namajunas. And Eric will score this contest 49-46 for the winner by split decision. And still, UFC Strawweight champion Rose Namajunas with a 49-46, only giving 1 round to Zheng Weili.
That was a Shaq scorecard when he wasn't paying attention. So that goes to tell you what. I know this wasn't intentional because Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier seem like decent people, but they were saying how Joe Rogan started by saying how there's like no one else in this division. These guys could just fight over and over again. And then Daniel Cormier is like, oh, there are some other women, and proceeds to name Marina Rodriguez, absolutely throwing Carla Esparza, the clear #1 contender, who has a victory over Rose Namajunas, just sweeping her under the rug. Can we please, now that this rematch has happened, can we please give Carla Esparza her rightfully owed UFC Women's Strawweight title fight, and an amazing storyline about Carla, the first ever champion who fell off a cliff and grinded her way back to the title shot, versus Rose Namajunas, the woman she beat to capture that title, who has now elevated herself to the best strawweight in the world. That writes itself.
And both Rose and Carla, according to the graphic on the screen, both tied for second with Tisha Torres with 9 wins in the division, 1 win behind Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So I say you make that fight, and then on top of that, the winner, they get to their 10th fight, that 10th victory, tying with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. It kind of quiets a lot of the Jędrzejczyk fans who claim she's the greatest of all time in that division. I think that fight would solve it. Zhang Weili, though, one hell of a performance by her. One hell of a performance from Rose Namajunas. I don't agree 49-46. I think 48-47 was more of the accurate score for this fight. But a great fight, a great night for both fighters. And this is not the last time you'll see Zhang Weili. She drops to 21-3. Her second straight loss, her third only loss in her career. Her first loss was in 2013, her first fight. So this is the most consecutive losses she's ever suffered in her career. But I think we're going to see her again in the title picture really soon. I think she makes a move. Pardon me, her last loss wasn't in 2013. It was a little more recent than that. But she had 21 fights between her first and second loss. Her third loss here tonight. I was looking at my other notes for the next fight because I scrolled down like a jackass. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Shakiel Mahjouri. Joining us on the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. Over 2,000 of you psychopaths are watching us across the Combat Culture Network. So it is a fun night. Rose Namajunas winning by split decision, taking it against Zhang Weili. Let us know in the chat If you were watching along or if you were listening along and you think you have your scorecards, drop your scorecards for us in the chat. Sam Johnson thinks there should be a rematch. I don't think we're going to see a trilogy fight just yet, but what a night, what a fight. Michael Bisping in the crowd shouting out Pat Barry, Namajunas talking to her parents in the crowd.
We gotta stop this. And I say this with no disrespect to a wonderful commenter. We gotta stop this instant rematch thing where it's like Zheng Weili never successfully defended her title once against Joanna and Jacek. Got her head kicked off defending it the second time. Lost the rematch even though it was close. Like, there's no precedent for another fight when you've got people who are stringing together wins in the division, who are ranked number 2, number 4. Those people are entitled to their title shot. They should get it. Plus, it doesn't do Zheng Weili any favors. Like, she's fought Rose twice. She's lost twice, no matter how close it was. Give her some time to rebuild and retune and improve, because oftentimes when you schedule these rematches back-to-back, the same person ends up winning.
Yeah. And shout out to Silver Manic Attack donating $5 for the cause. We are almost ready for the main event. What a night of fights. It just keep gotten better and better and better. And now it's time for the main event. And I don't know what to expect.
I was going to say, we seem to be about 10 subscribers away from our goal. So if you're one of the couple thousand tuning in who have not yet hit subscribe, please do that. We got some really fun videos dropping off next week. Also, if you want to go to bed after this, because I know it's late for those East Coast folks, when you wake up, I'll have an 8-minute compilation of the best moments from the UFC 268 press conference for you, so you don't have to waste your entire Sunday skimming through that 2-hour-long video. I'll be here late covering you there. Like the video. That helps more people see it as we roll into the main event.
Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. We've got Sam Kino donating $4.99 to the cause. Thank you so much. Michael Roshan just subscribed, guys. Please subscribe, like, comment, join us. We're here every UFC pay-per-view. We're here for the freak fights. I think we got a freak fight coming up in December. I think it's a Jake Paul fight.
Tommy Fury, yep.
Tommy Fury, yeah. So hopefully we'll be on for that one. Do we like that they're freak fights? Yes. Do we like covering freak fights? Yes. Do we feel like it's a terrible thing for the sport? But it is a chance for us to hang out and watch people get punched about the face in that.
So at the, that's what I was trying to tell you before, at the pre-fight press conference, John Morgan, MMA junkie, usually the guy kicking off the questions, I was trying to ask Colby Covington a question. I guess Colby was a little bitter about some of the rhetoric John Morgan had been using, so he insisted that John Morgan do 10 push-ups before he got his answers answered. That did not happen. His questions answered. That did not happen, obviously. John Morgan's a vet. He ain't doing no push-ups. Colby Covington. Also, he went back and forth with the pink suit guy. Pink suit guy was back.
Oh, pink suit guy's back? Jesus Christ.
Dude, some random dude who's like super pro Kamaru was just like shitting on. I don't know. Okay. I swear Dana White is just trying to, maybe not Dana White, but it's hard to say because UFC staff wonderful. Someone is just fucking with the media. They're like, we're really going to stick it to these guys when we constantly say that the media doesn't know what they're doing, that they don't know anything about the sport. And we're just going to let every bum off the street into the venue to ask questions as if they are press.
Dude, I was at the Garden for I think we were both there because they had the first for the first Usman Covington fight.
Yes.
They had that press conference there, and it was open to the fans, and it was a shit show. It was an utter shit
Jorge Masvidal had fans boxing on stage. And I'm like, how was that ever cleared? How did the UFC... I could see UFC scrambling to try and figure out what to do, but you would think someone would have the say-so to just immediately shut that down.
Yeah.
No one got hurt, but...
Mike Bike Eat donating $5 to the cause. So shout out to Hike Bike Eat for donating $5. Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for, Kamaru Usman or Colby Covington. I think we're both picking Kamaru Usman to come out with the win and continue his run. His last loss was in 2013. He's won 18 straight fights. Since winning the UFC welterweight title against Tyron Woodley. He defeated Covington by knockout, defeated Jorge Masvidal by decision and TKO. And in his most recent fight, between I believe both fights, his most recent fight was against Gilbert Burns, dropped him by TKO. 4 performance of the night bonuses, fight of the night one time against Colby Covington. Most consecutive wins in the welterweight division. He's knocked out 9, submitted 1, decision 9, only lost by submission. Covington has pulled 4 submissions in his career, but I don't know if this fight's going to go to the ground all that much, Shaq. I don't know. I don't know the most effective road to victory for Colby Covington right now.
Yeah, there is no. And I don't say that with any sort of disrespect to Colby. It's just the evidence that we have in front of us, right? We have seen Kamaru Usman. So in the time that Kamaru Usman beat Colby Covington via 5th-round technical knockout, Colby Covington fought Tyron Woodley. A Tyron Woodley that fought Vicente Luque, that fought Jake Paul in the time it took Colby Covington to get this Kamaru Usman fight booked. Yep. So what we saw in that fight, Colby Covington, amazing as always. More patient for sure, but still takedown heavy, strike heavy, really in your face, cardio king, doing all that stuff that the other fighters in this division can't do, just keeping a pace on you that you can't deal with. But in that time, we've seen Kamaru Usman transform under Trevor Whitman. His boxing is crisper, his movement, his range, all of these things we've seen in actuality. We've seen him beat Jorge Masvidal twice, as well as Gilbert Burns in a fight where he bounced back from early adversity. Burns caught him in that first round, and then he still just steamrolled him in the second. So I don't get how anyone, the only people in my mind that are rooting for Covington that think he's got a chance to win this are the people who are just on his jock from the beginning, because Colby Covington is a damn good fighter and has given Kamaru Usman the toughest run for his money, but we just don't have the evidence to support the claim that he can beat Kamaru. If he does, we have the evidence. I'm not saying he can, I'm just saying no one has anything to go off of.
And if you're joining us, if you're watching us on Combat Culture, if you want to know the results, Steph not only dropping them into the chat, but also you can get them in the description below. If you're not on the Combat Culture channel, you can head on over to MMAmania.com. We've got live results all night long, round by round updates, and also just the general description. So if you're watching us on anywhere but the Combat Culture YouTube channel, head on over to MMAmania.com. If you're watching us on Combat Culture, drop into the description or scroll up in the chat. We've got all the results for the fight so far tonight. Steph, how you doing over there?
Doing very well.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let us know how you're doing in the chat. If you're just joining along, I'm Matt Ryan. Shout out to Pogary 09, just subscribe to the cause. I am Matt Ryan. You can follow me on Twitter at MRyan Consulting. Shaq, you can follow Shaq at Shaq_Fu. My jaw is rubber.
You okay?
Colby Covington style.
My jaw right now, I am so tired. My jaw is so just mushy from
you've
calling
had to hold it down.
Yeah.
You haven't been boring fights. You've had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I have had a lot of yelling. I've had a lot of yelling to do tonight, but here we go. It is
different than any other day.
no, it's just been more concurrent yelling. My yelling's usually in some form of waves.
You want me to throw out some Usman Covington stats? Give you
Yeah, hit me with the stats. I believe Colby Covington's walking to the cage right now.
Yes.
Let me know what his walkout music is, because
I'm not listening, but let me throw it.
I really hope it's not Real American. Like, I feel like we've crossed that bridge. Once Tito came out to that fight.
Oh God! I keep showing people things I'm not supposed to show them because I was trying to answer your question.
Shout out to Billy, to Jonathan Fedeke watching us from Thailand.
Oh, it's You Suck, Kurt Angle.
Oh, it's the Kurt Angle song?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
all right.
So he's coming out to the Patriots music.
Give me a moment to steady myself, because again, I'm usually taking a backseat on these, and I'm not trying to legally stream the show. The last time someone with that music came out, they got choked out by Taz inside the Garden. So that Kurt Angle's theme music inside Madison Square Garden historically not ending well. All right, I got these stats for you, my man.
What do you got
strikes,
for me?
Usman edging at 4.63 to 4.12 for Covington. We talk about volume. This is where it comes in. 54% accuracy for Usman versus 38% for Covington. So what I think is happening here is Covington throws so much volume, but he's not always landing, but it's his ability to just keep sticking shots in your face, whether or not they hit, that never really let you steady or take a step forward. Strikes absorbed, 2.4 for Usman, 2.86 for Covington. Defense, 57%. Usman, 55%. Covington. Usman is edging Covington in basically everything that has to do with strikes. He is, as a matter of fact. Mm-hmm. He lands more, he absorbs less, he's more accurate, and he's got better defense. So that's not looking good for Covington. And like I said, Usman's improved a lot. Grappling. 3.27 takedowns per 15 minutes for Usman. 4.61 for Covington. He's landing nearly a 5 takedown rate per 15 minutes. So what is that? Like 2.5 per round sort of thing? Mm-hmm. He's just killing it. And I'm terrible at math, so that's very wrong. But he's landing a lot of takedowns. Takedown defense, 100% for Usman, 75% for Covington. So Covington's got a great... This is the interesting part, right? Covington has a great, really difficult style where he pours on a lot of pressure with his punches and then takes you down. But when he can't take down his opponent, and he cannot take down Usman thus far, can he go blow for blow? He couldn't the first time. Let's see what happens.
And Covington making his way. He has walked into the cage. Shout out to people joining us from all across the world. Thank you so much to Omari watching us from Malaysia. We've got a whole bunch of people from across the world watching tonight, and we are so glad you are joining us. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Shakiel Mahjouri, Stephanie Sotili on the other side of the glass, and my dog is somewhere here in the studio.
5 subscribers away from our goal tonight. So if you haven't, just as this main event's about to kick off, please subscribe, thumbs up, all of that good stuff. We'll have lots of content for you immediately after, as well as early next week.
And also, if you want to know, for every UFC pay-per-view, we go live here on the Combat Culture YouTube channel. So if you're like, oh, I forgot about the show, if you hit the notification bell, if you hit the like button, what's going to happen? When we go live, you'll be the first to know. Luis Ramirez watching from Antarctica. Yeah, good story, bro. Cool, bro. Cool story. Dougie Jefford from Iowa. So glad to have you out here. Nairo Nut saying Colby will fall. El Cid saying Colby Covington is going to shock the world. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. We've got B. Hamnagal Muko watching us from India. We've got Vicky from North Sentinel Island. Megabytes asking, has Colby knocked out anyone in his career? He has knocked out and submitted 4 people in his career. So he has the ability to knock someone out, but he has decisioned as many people as he's knocked out and submitted combined. So for Colby Covington, it's all about the long game for him. We've seen that. We saw that especially in the Robbie Lawler fight in terms of he would throw strikes. The power was there, but he couldn't finish Robbie Lawler. That's my concern with Colby Covington is his inability to finish top, Robbie Lawler, obviously post peak at this point. He was able to finish Tyron Woodley because Tyron Woodley was, he's been, consistently injured for the past few years. He's not the same Tyron Woodley we wanted to see about 5 years ago or a few years ago when this fight was a possibility. And he's not the same level of athlete as Kamaru Usman is Tyron Woodley. So it's really hard for me to think that Kamaru Usman's going to get dropped by Colby Covington.
How close? Because I don't think we were seriously talking about it maybe 2 fights ago. But after the Burns knockout and the Usman and the Masvidal knockout, we're talking about Kamaru Usman closing that gap to GSP for the all-time greatest welterweight.
Yeah.
How much progress does Usman make with a win over Colby Covington tonight? A convincing win.
A convincing win. He's right below him. I think GSP meant more for the division just in terms of his dominance and the visibility. But I think if Usman wins this, he needs 2 more emphatic wins to surpass GSP, in my opinion.
I would always give a little bit of handicap almost to these new age fighters, just because I know it's all relative, which makes these pound for pound, this greatest of all time conversation kind of hard. But without a shadow of a doubt, the quality of opposition that Usman is beating is higher than the quality of opposition. So for me, it's not like Usman needs to match or surpass St. Pierre's number of title defenses. He just needs to get close.
Shout out from Zachariah saying he's watching from the Garden. We've got Andrew watching 5 blocks away from the Garden. Shout out New York. We got New Mexico in the house, South Africa, We've got Virginia Beach, more South Africa, Idaho, Mesa, Arizona, a whole bunch of people from all across the world, La Palma. We've got Reed, Virginia, Curacao. We're now 4 subscribers away. We got people from Australia. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit the like comment. We got people coming over from the Canelo fight coming to watch us. So if you're watching now, come on in. If you're on social media, share this YouTube link, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Share it with everybody. Text it to a buddy. If you were watching the Canelo fight, you couldn't buy UFC 268, we've got you covered because it's time for the main motherfucking event, Usman versus Covington. If you want to see 2 dudes who fucking hate each other, beat each other to death in Madison Square Garden, the only way you can do it without buying the pay-per-view is listening to our voices. That's the only way you're going to get the best possible experience. No need to toot. Don't mean to toot my own horn, but toot on that one. Shout out to everybody here. First time, last time, and all the time viewers and listeners. Plant flew too close to the sun. Yeah, I saw that knockout. Dude got clip-clopped.
I will say my hunch is sometimes the subscriber tally is tough. It's like slow to add up. My hunch is we've surpassed the goal, but in the event that it's not trolling us. I think it's trolling us.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Yes, be that person. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Usman 34, Covington 33. Usman 6 foot to Colby Covington's 5'11", 169 pounds for Usman, 169 and a half for Covington, both at championship weight. Usman with the 4-inch reach advantage, though, 76 inches to 72. We're going to see that be coming into play really quickly because Usman's limbs are so long and so effective. And Bruce Buffer, with the swagger of the world's best magician, walking into the center of the octagon as we get ready for the main event of the evening. Taking a look at the chat. Ilya Barkarov we got a bunch of people from Baltimore. Shout out to Baltimore. We got Donovan Reed from Las Vegas. We got Guam up in this motherfucker. Sight Sev asking, where's the blonde dude? If you're missing Brendan Sokler, he'll be back for UFC 269. Nice. And that will be in December, on December 11th, right here on the Combat Culture YouTube channel. Brendan in Miami this week for a dramatic reading of War of the Worlds. You can follow him on Twitter at Brendan Sokler and learn more about that.
Hey. According to the thing, we reached our goals. So
hey,
thank you guys so much. Don't feel deterred though. If you haven't, please keep subscribing.
There's no limit on subscribers.
No. In fact, maybe we can get to a 135 even by the end of the night. So, and you know what? I'm gonna update the goal because when one goal ends, we just got to start a new one.
Yeah, people from Canada, Russia, Puerto Rico, DC, North Carolina. Take your shirt off, spin around like a helicopter. Roger from Tokyo, Willie Boy from Cali. We've got a whole bunch of people hanging out in here. Got Silver Spring out in the house tonight. Norbert Tinoco calling me the best host. I think he's talking about you, though, Shaq. We got Sebastian from South Africa. We've got Clay from West Coast, British Columbia.
Hey, that's my homie.
We got Donnie Watts down in Compton. We got KY, T-Sun Man, 859 from Kentucky. We got Brazil in the house. We've got someone asking me if they'll subscribe if you tell me who would win, Caleb or Canelo. Canelo won.
11th round TKO?
Yeah, 11th round TKO. Stephen Weidel from Iowa, the home of what he says, the best wrestlers in the world. We got G from Florida. We got George from Nairobi. My Alexa not shutting the fuck up. Reiko from Denver. We got Arkansas in the house. Memphis, the UK. We've got Cardiff. We've got Malaysia. Spokane, Washington. We've got Pakistan, South Australia, Oakland in the house. We've got Rich Hine possibly defending our freedom down over in Iraq, Indiana, Iowa, Ontario, Spokane, Columbia in the house tonight. We got Parts Unknown, my favorite place in the world, Parts Unknown. We've got Hold River, Oregon. We've got the Philippines.
Less than 50 subs away from 135 even. I didn't think we'd make it tonight, but I think we're gonna. So guys, please keep hitting that button.
Keep subscribing if you're just joining us for the first time and you want to keep listening to these live shows. And also, we've got all the old live shows on demand for you right now. And Usman walking right up to Covington, who's got his back turned to Usman. I think Covington's a little shook.
Guys,
His body language is weird.
Yeah, let me get this out of the way because I know we're about to start.
Yep.
Go to the YouTube channel. If you scroll down on like the main page of our channel, we got all the playlists set up for there, going through the entire rankings of the UFC divisions, UFC fighters reacting to fights, lots of fun stuff. So go check it out.
So here we go. Spaghetti Manelli from New York City. We got Texas, Nashville, and Corona, California, South Korea. Both men during the referee's instructions. Dan Murgliata is the referee for this fight. Both men were hunched down. And here we go. Round number 1, Covington and Usman. Covington, the first one, missing wildly with a leg kick. Tried to go for the hip of Usman. Both men with their hands up, both in the center of the octagon. Covington a little more bouncy than Usman. Usman trying to close off the space between he and Covington, trying to get inside, trying to get a little closer here, try to utilize that reach. 438, quick jab. That was the first landed strike of the fight by Usman. Covington shifting around his hands, trying to shift up his coverage, lifting up his right arm and his elbow, and a left jab landed by the champion. Covington kind of got a glancing blow. Overhand right missed by the challenger. Quick left landed by the champion. Quick left landed, landed on the gloves of Covington. Leg kick missed. Head kick missed by Covington. Overhand left blocked by Usman. Switching up his stance is Covington, closer and closer to the fence, missing with a leg kick. Tried to take out the ankle of the champion. Did Covington. Covington at the fence now, missing with the right. Overhand left missed. Getting inside, a quick shot to the ribs by Usman. Covington recovering nicely there after missing wildly with that shot. 350 left to go in round number 1. Covington trying to find an opportunity to get some rhythm here. Trying to go for the takedown, and Usman stuffs it, rolls through, gets right back up. Now on top, Usman trying to stand up, maybe trying to pull a submission here. Might be trying to pull a guillotine, trying to lock in the guillotine on Colby Covington. Covington dragging on his knees to get to the center, stands back up. And both men back to a standing position. Great defense there by Kamaru Usman. Covington missing the leg kick again. Covington missing a heavy on those kicks to the ankle. But Usman with a great takedown defense there, almost pulling the submission. Wild uppercut by Covington, not even landing. Covington trying to spam finishers here like it's UFC 3, trying to spam all of his combo moves. Feigning the takedown was Usman. Covington's back to the fence. Kick to the body, missed by Covington. 2:53 left to go in round 1 of 5 for the UFC Welterweight Championship. Covington not landing a lot of strikes. Quick jab landed by the champion. Overhand left looked like it caught a little bit of Usman, but Usman followed up with a couple of shots of his own. 2:40 left to go in the round. Usman standing in the center of the octagon, steps right inside, throws an overhand left, does not land. Feigning a right hand was Usman. 2:28 left to go in the round. Both fighters circling, standing overhand right and then left, missing by Covington. Usman's neck right in the right place at the right time. His left hand blocking the right hand shot and his head being able to move out of the way. Covington coming in with heavy shots, but not landing, not finding range, not finding distance. The reach being a big problem here. Getting inside. Covington landing a couple of shots, but Usman preceded it with a couple of punches of his own. Covington on his back foot here. He has been circling here. Really tentative, throwing a lot of wild strikes, but not landing much. Not landing a lot here. A minute 50 charges in. Usman with the takedown, but Covington trying to lock in the guillotine. Usman pulls out of it. Now takes the back of Covington. Covington stands back up. Covington feeling comfortable now, smiling a little bit, missing wildly with a head kick attempt, missing wildly with an overhand right back into the center of the octagon. Shot inside. Now Kamaru Usman, the 25th fighter in UFC history with 50-plus takedowns after that takedown of Covington. Covington near the fence, throwing wildly with a left, not really planting his back foot, leading heavy. And if Usman timed it right, he could have dropped him. Minute 18, but no punch thrown from Usman. Covington circling around here. Losing this round, missing again with a right hand. Usman, both fighters making each other work here, but Usman landing more, been the more active fighter in terms of getting stuff landed. Two body shots and the overhand right to the head not landing. Overhand left landed. Inside uppercut by Usman. Usman gets inside, another shot to the left. Tried to get it on the jaw of Covington. Under 1 minute now, 46 seconds remaining in round number 1. Covington once again near the fence, inside, punch to the body, takedown attempt. Looked like he was trying to pick the wrist was Covington of Usman, but Covington finding a way out of it. 33 seconds left to go. Kick attempt by Covington missed. 30 seconds now. Covington missing with a right to the body, then follows up with the left. So he's leading with the right, throwing again with the left. Quick combination, not landing by Covington. A lot of his big shots have missed so far. Covington just trying to find range with wild blows, then sticks to the jab a little bit, but has been alternating his stance. He doesn't seem really comfortable. The only time he seemed comfortable was that in a quick little scramble where Usman was in control. And we will end round number 1 here with more questions than answers when it comes to Colby Covington. We'll take a look in the chat right here. Thank you, BM, for setting up the commentary. Jay Ordonez is asking, who do you have winning? Right now, I have it a 10-9 round for Kamaru Usman.
Hey, you know what? It's what I said, right? Kamaru Usman, better wrestling, better striking, more power.
And Covington bleeding. I'm sorry to cut you off, Shaq, but he's bleeding from the cheek and also from the forehead. You can see around the hairline.
That's a bad
There's like
one.
a little bit of, there's a welt right there. And take a look at this takedown, Shaq. Continue your point. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, Colby Covington's got a tough fight against him, up for him. It's exactly what Kamaru said. He's going to have to live knowing that there is one guy better, that if Colby Covington was around in any other timeline, he might be the best welterweight in the world. But this is a time in which Kamaru Usman exists. This is playing out how I think a lot of people thought it was going to play out. I just don't know what Colby Covington's avenue to victory is unless he clips him clean. Even when he got, listen, Colby got a really, really good entry. It was a great entry, but Kamaru was such a strong wrestler that he was immediately able to count it. I don't think that counts as a takedown because it was reversed immediately. At least it introduces the threat, but good luck.
10 seconds into round number 2, Covington missing with a head kick. Wild exchange. Covington getting the worst of that one. Overhand left. Champion gets inside, lands a right, but Covington lands a shot of his own. 4:33 left to go in the round. Someone asking in the chat, has Covington regressed? I think it's just Usman's advanced his game. We talked about it earlier. Trevor Whitman has skilled up every aspect of his game. Caught. Covington tried to throw a couple of shots. He's protecting that left eye of his. And blocking a kick was Usman. 4:14 left to go in the round. And a right hook. Looked like it landed. Covington smiling. But that's been a tell all night for fighters who get in the pocket and then get frucked up by their opponent. We saw that with Chandler earlier in the night in that fight against Gaethje, missing with the right, missing with the left, switching stances here. Leg kick by Covington. 3:51 left to go in the round. Missing with the right, barely grazing the wrist of Usman with the left was Covington. Keep away jab by Usman. Winding up that right was Usman, stepping in, great entry, but not landing. And now Covington trying to wrestle with Usman, punches to the body. Covington throws a knee, and both men standing in the middle. Usman finding a way out of it again. Covington having no answer for the takedown defense of Kamaru Usman, swinging wildly with an uppercut was Covington. Nothing so far has really worked for the challenger. He's not been able to get into a pocket. Usman's been way more comfortable. He's been way more solid with dictating the pace. Another floating left, an uppercut landed by Usman. Covington throwing 4 shots, landing basically just one of them. A weak head kick attempt by Covington, landing just inside the armpit, overhand left. Throwing not as strong. Covington looking like he's having fun in there, but he has not shifted into a third gear, and he's not been able to get inside the head of Kamaru Usman. Quick left, followed up by Usman, followed up by a leg kick by Covington. Covington taking some sweeping leg kicks, but not really landing here. Backing up towards the fence again. Usman getting hit with a couple of shots by Covington. Both fighters back in the center of the octagon. Covington avoiding a shot from Usman. Usman landing a left hand towards the face of Colby Covington. Covington keeping his hands up a little higher now, keeping them more open, keeping the fingers open. Head kick blocked by Usman, throwing the left, landing another left. Covington really protective of his face right now. He might be hurt. He knows he's bleeding, but that jaw could be injured again. Missing wildly was Covington to try to set up the takedown, and now Usman might be trying to pull the guillotine, might have the guillotine here. No, he doesn't have the neck, but stopping it is Kamaru Usman. Another takedown attempt. grabbing the left arm of Colby Covington as Covington presses him against the fence, stifling another takedown as the champion. Minute 45 left to go. Now trying to sweep out the leg as Covington, but Usman now using the flamingo technique to keep that leg up and keep it out of the way of Colby Covington. 97 seconds left to go. Shoulder strikes by the champion, trying to work on the jaw of Covington. Again, just using that shoulder, using that shoulder bone to get inside Covington's jaw. Covington will relent. Minute 23 left to go in the second round. The champion in control, despite the best efforts of Colby Covington eating a couple of leg kicks. Covington with a shot to the midsection and a couple of punches from the champion, and you see Covington bleeding on the cheek again. We are in round 2 of 5 for the UFC Welterweight Championship. Right hand thrown by Usman. Under a minute now in the round. Covington missing wildly, the blood starting to spout from that cheek. Covington just throwing wildly. 30-13 in terms of head strikes. Usman and Covington. Usman with 13, Covington with 13. So over double, plus 2 so far for Usman when it comes to head strikes. Covington looking more and more tired here tonight. Covington with his back towards the fence. 30 seconds left to go. Uppercut. Wow, Covington is down. Covington eats a left hand from Usman. Usman gets Covington down again. Covington getting lit up like it's a Friday night in New York City. Getting fucked up by Usman. Usman trying to take him down. Now trying to pull the guillotine. Covington in trouble. Trying to pick the ankle. 10 seconds. And Covington getting hit in the head by Usman. Usman trying to pinata him with 5 seconds. Punches to the ribs, and we will go to the third round, and that will be the end of the round. Kamaru Usman almost completely dropping Colby Covington. Covington getting clip-clopped twice and somehow surviving the round.
Well, I don't think you need my analysis after that impassioned statement from Matt Ryan. That was bad, man. Kamaru Usman is a bad mother effer. The way he was just drumming on the body, Colby Covington holding on for dear life. You know Kamaru feels good after that.
The analogy of fucking around and find out comes to mind, Shaq. And, well, Colby Covington has fucked around, and he found out. He got dropped once on one knee, Covington immediately covering his eye, and then he left his right hand down, had his left hand up, got caught on the jaw, and then you just heard the Windows reset noise for a brief moment. For half a second, Covington was thinking he was living on DOS prompt and somehow survived the remainder of that round.
He looked defeated. He looked dejected going to his corner.
Yeah, he does not look happy right now. He's smiling, but he is not in a good place. Aegis Comics of Alaska donating $9.99 to the cause. And we begin round number 3 inside Madison Square Garden. Head kick blocked by Usman. Circling around, Usman pressuring. Throwing that left, leading with his left hand. .434. Covington tries to get inside. Usman blocks it and blocks a head kick attempt. Stan the Caddy saying I'm annoying when the action picks up. Sorry, I'm actually enjoying the fights. So, sorry. 420 plays it. Let's go in the third round here of 5 for the UFC Welterweight Championship. Usman on our unofficial scorecards up 2-0. Covington almost lost the fight in the second round, but survived it. 4:03 left to go in the third round. Covington throws a beautiful left hand, caught Usman great. That might have been his best punch of the fight so far. Usman needs to not get overconfident here, needs to not get over cocky. As he continues to pressure, feign a takedown attempt, tries to get inside. Covington gets hit with a left hand. Leading with the left is Usman. Leading with the right is Covington, but Covington's been switching his stance up, missing with the uppercut. Usman's been a second ahead on all of the strike attempts. Feigning a head kick was Covington. Brought his hip over, but did not fully extend. Throws the left hand, does Usman. 3:22 left to go in the round. Usman piling on that jab, faked out the takedown attempt at Covington. 3:15 left to go. Missing with the right hand was Usman after landing a left and tagging Covington. Covington keeping his hands up. He is hurt. That face is hurt. There is something going on with that cheekbone or that jaw again, because he has been hyper protective of his face. And Usman throwing a couple of lefts again. That right hand is up higher than the left. Pardon me, the left hand is higher than the right. So Covington really, eating another left hand from the champion. 2:48 left to go. Covington keeping his hands up like this, throwing a head kick, missing it, blocked by the champion, landing another left jab. Persisting with that left jab is Usman, flying in wildly was Covington with a right and a left. Lands that, tries to go twice. He's going far wild with the right, leading with then the left hook. A takedown attempt stuffed by Usman. Usman pressuring now head and punching with impunity the wrist and the rib cage of Colby Covington. Covington's ribs being smothered and covered like we're in Kansas City. And getting back up and clipping him with a left hand was the champion. 2:11 left to go in the third round of this UFC 5-round fight for the welterweight championship. Usman leading with the right hand, missing with the left overhand. 2 minutes remaining in this round, missing with the right hand was Colby Covington. Minute 55, missing with the push kick was Covington. Usman getting out of the way in just in the nick of time. Switching up a stance again is Covington, leading with his right hand again. Covington dancing, gets inside in the clinch. Usman pushing away and gives him a left uppercut for his troubles. Missing with an overhand left was Covington. Quick left jab, kick to the neck by Usman. Covington was coming in. If he was a little closer, we could have seen like the finish in the Cheeto Vera fight with the field goal kick. Right hand landed by Usman. Covington stutter stepped on that one. Looked like he got pushed back on the canvas. 52-21 in terms of strikes to the head for Usman, 26-12 for strikes to the body for Usman, 2-5 in favor of Covington in strikes to the leg in terms of leg kicks. Usman's not really relied on going to the legs so far, working on the face and chest. Leading with that right hand, missing with the right hand was Covington. Covington throws a combination overhand right, lands. Covington wanting more of it. The last time that happened, he got bing-bonged like he was standing clear of the closing doors. 46 seconds left to go in the round. Missing with that left jab was the champion. Standing in the center, leading with the left. Throws a left to the body, does the champion. Field goal kick attempt does not go for Usman. Throwing a right-left combination, leading with the left hook to the body by the champion. 30 seconds left to go in the round. Covington keeping his hands a little low, then pulling them back up. He is not really into a set rhythm. Gets him on the jaw, though. Covington got Usman on the jaw, trying to be more aggressive, swinging more wildly. Usman letting him try to get into a false sense of security. And now a scramble. Usman in a reverse waistlock. Covington tries to counter for a takedown, not going. Covington trying to get him down. Usman stands back up. Usman doing everything within his power to not let Colby Covington take him down in 4 seconds left in the round. And we will go to a fourth round in New York City. Both men having fun. And Shaq, for me right now, it's 3-0 Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, and that's without a doubt, undeniably a 10-8 in the second. So we're looking at 30-26 for Usman. And does it count if you go to your knees? Did Colby just take
I don't know
for the first time in his career or not?
I don't know. I don't know if that counts or not.
14 fights.
Yeah.
I don't know about this, but 14 fights, no takedowns in the UFC. 14 fights in the UFC, 0 takedowns. I don't know if that counted. My hunch is probably not, but we'll see. Dude, Colby's game for the longest time, the thing he's had over everyone is cardio and forward pressure. He threw more than 540 strikes against Robbie Lawler. He is not better than Kamaru. I understand why he doesn't want to just go wild and press forward because he will likely get caught, but he's not going to win this fight going technique for technique, wrestling or striking. If Covington wants to win, and it's probably too late now, I think he has to go balls to the wall.
Oh, he's got to. Shout out to Roger Boss for making a Sheik reference. All hail Ed Farhat. We're in championship rounds here. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Usman leading with the left. Once again, Covington leading with the right hand. 4:39 left to go in the round. Covington keeping his hands right at his face, like keeping it right at the jawline. And you can see he's a little tired. moving shuffly. He's got shuffly feet, like my dog when it's trying to eat dinner. Right hand thrown by left hand thrown by Usman, blocked by Covington. Right hand, and Usman tried to go for 2 lefts and a big overhand right. He's going jab, jab, overhand, and now Covington throwing everything he can at Usman. Landed a couple shots, misses with the head kick. It's the last act of a desperate man or the first act of Richard V. We don't know. Leading over, trying to create something happening here. It's Colby Covington. 4:02 left to go in the 4th round. Standing in the center of the octagon is both fighters. Colby Covington's got balls, I'll tell you that. But right now, he is being outclassed by Kamaru Usman. Covington throwing everything he has at the champion. But Usman has found answers nearly every single time in this fight and made Covington look very human in round number 2. Covington since then has kept his hands really high. Even in round 1, he got some raspberry jam going on Covington. It made it really tough for the former interim champion to do any work. He has been not able to get into a pocket, serious pocket, for more than a few seconds, has Covington in this fight. 3:16 left to go in the 4th round. Leading with the left hand is Usman, trying to create pressure on Colby Covington. Covington down basically 3 rounds to 0. Uppercut, no left hook. Uppercut. Colby Covington firing away, landing some solid shots, but Usman responding. Usman responding with some solid right hands. Now Covington trying to figure out a way to break the rhythm, switching up his stance again, blocking the kick was Kamaru Usman. Right-left combination not landing by Covington. A quick left hook to the jaw, landing by Usman. Punch to the body by Usman. Covington trying to create some pressure here. Left-right combination landing by Covington. Covington eating a right and then another shot to the jaw. Covington trying to go for a takedown, trying to get some shots in, lands a left hook, but Usman finding an answer every single time. Missing the overhand left was Covington. 2:19 left to go in the 4th round. The anxiety in the air in Madison Square Garden must be at an all-time high. You can cut the tension with a knife. 2:04 left to go in the round. Covington standing in the center, throwing that left hand. Both men throwing. Right hand landed, then followed up by a left one by Usman. 1:45 left to go in the round. Kick blocked by Usman, attempted by Covington, tried to go for a head kick, left hand ejects the jaw of Covington. Covington almost went into rubber band AI mode, almost turned into a video game character after that shot by the jaw to the jaw by the champion. 90 seconds and counting here in the 4th round. Kick blocked, the champion in trouble. Covington throwing some wild shots, eats a fiery left hand from the champion. The champion switching up his stance, bouncing between the right and the left. The most fire we've seen from Covington has probably been in this round so far. But the champion has found answers for everything Covington's been throwing at him, but a left hand sends the champion back a little bit. Stutter stepped a little bit was Usman. Under a minute left to go. Covington trying to answer the doubters, answer the haters, and drop Kamaru Usman. Usman looking to shut Colby Covington up. Covington goes for a takedown. Usman finds a way out of it. Usman elusive, but pressed up against the cage by Covington. So far, significant strikes, 28 landed by Covington in this round, 27 by Usman. This is the best round we've seen from Colby Covington so far in this fight. Charlene in the chat saying she's surprised Colby is still standing. I am as well. 20 seconds left to go in the round. Covington pressing Usman against the fence. Left elbows, beautiful elbows thrown by Covington. Covington, with 13 seconds left to go, may get his first and possibly only round of the fight with this performance here. Stop it from making it a 50. And a beautiful right hook. The champ in trouble. And that was the most human we've seen Kamaru Usman all fight. Shaq. 10-9 Colby Covington.
Man, I am shocked that Colby Covington was able to turn the tide the way he has so late in the fight, excuse me. That was his best round without a doubt. I did have to step out for a moment, so I won't give a scorecard. But man, the rivalry between these two guys is something else, isn't it?
Yeah. This is great. This is great mixed martial arts right here. Adrian on Facebook, please just say Baba Booey one time. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. We are, as we head into this final round, we are 2 subscribers away from hitting 135K even. You can help us get there. That just be.
If you're just joining, we got over 3,300 people joining us across the Combat Culture Network. We're near 4,000 people. So we want you right now, if you're watching us for the first time, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you're thinking. We are heading into the 5th round of this main event here tonight. And all we got to say is Kamaru Usman's 5 minutes away from retaining his title, but Colby Covington's a crazy son of a bitch. We're 3 seconds into this one. Covington controlling the center of the octagon. Usman circling around Covington. Covington's been hurt from what feels like the first round, but he's found a way to persist. Right-left combination from the challenger. Coming in, sweeping with a left uppercut, missing. Those sweeping strikes, Covington's been taking chances all fight. He's not been able to land a lot of those, throwing a lot of power, but dumping a lot of energy into those shots. And they've created situations where the champion's been able to control the pace of the fight. Kick missed by Covington, leading to a left jab from the champion. Right shot to the body, right to the abdomen of Colby Covington. 4:18 left to go in the round, just about a minute, almost a minute gone by, over 45 seconds. Covington missing with 2 sweeping blows. Usman getting some couple of quick jabs. Overhand left, blocked by the champion. Shot by Covington. Covington eating a punch directly to the jaw. 4:02 left to go. Just over a minute gone by. Shot to the body by the champion. The challenger missing a sweeping blow of his own. Shout out to Khaled Brood for donating $5 to the cause. Overhand left and a right hook landed by the right uppercut, landed by the challenger. Head kick blocked by Usman. Usman in trouble, stumbles after a shot by Covington. Covington going for the takedown, but stopped by Usman. That was his best chance to pull a takedown this entire fight after clipping Usman clean on an uppercut, but Usman stopping him. 10 of 10 takedown defense tonight by the champion, and he is grinding Colby Covington right now, maybe trying to pull a guillotine, trying to make him breathe a lot harder. Both men back to a standing position. 3:19 left to go in the fight. Ooh, Covington throwing an uppercut from hell that did not land. 3:10 left to go. Left jab landed by Usman. 3:06 left to go. Covington missing with some shots. Overhand right, barely grazing the challenger by the champion. Low kick to the midsection, not landing by Usman. 2:55 left to go in the round. Significant strikes, 96-88 in Usman's favor. Covington trying to play catch up here against the champion. At one point, it was a 2-to-1 comparison, champion to challenger in terms of strikes. 2:40 left to go in the round. Usman throwing that jab. Colby Covington needs to make something happen in the next 2.5 minutes to try to take this title. 2.5 minutes left to go in the round. Leading with the left jab is Usman. Usman missing with a right hand. Covington has fought a hell of a round and a half, but has been in trouble this entire fight. And the story that can be told on his face is a roadmap to pain. He looks like Jacques Plante after taking a puck to the face at 2:08 left to go in this fight. His face is swollen. He has been bleeding. Head kick. Usman gets taken back, trying to evade a shot. He might have got clipped, but with 2 minutes left to go, again, Covington can't pull off the takedown on Usman. 150 left to go in this fight. Usman pressed up against the fence, but landing shots to the face of Colby Covington. Covington throwing some meek right hands here, looking tired, looking fatigued, but pressing on and persisting, but eating shots from Kamaru Usman. Covington throwing a few shots of his own, but right now, Colby Covington is under 90 seconds away from losing to Kamaru Usman for the second time, in my opinion, the way this fight has shaken out. Needed a body by Covington, an elbow by Covington, but an elbow prior to that by the champion. Straight left jab landed by the champion. Right hand thrown by Usman, leading with the left. Covington throwing a left-right combination that did not land at all. 57 seconds left to go. Threw wildly with an overhand, followed it up with an uppercut that was even as wild. 49 seconds left to go. 13-12 in significant strikes in round 1, 24-17 in round 2 for Usman, 20-18 for Usman, 29-30 in round 4 for Covington, both at 17 at this point of the 5th round. Covington coming in with 30 seconds timeout called. And again, in the final round of this fight, an eye poke by Usman to Covington, accidental. An accidental eye poke, but every fight so far tonight in the final round has witnessed either an eye poke or a mouthpiece coming out. If you had that prop bet set, you're a fucking genius. Over 4,000 people watching us across the Combat Culture Network. So grateful you're joining us. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Shakiel Mahjouri on the other side of the continent. On the other side of the glass is Stephanie Sotelli. Sotilli, that's the right way to say it. And the referee, now we've got a 5-minute grace period here, and I feel like Colby won't use all of it.
Like 5 seconds left in the fight, or like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Under 30 seconds.
30, something like that. Who do you think is winning this round? I don't know.
I can give it to either guy, and there's no, and now he's getting the blood wiped away from his eyes is Colby Covington. And it looks like Colby will be ready to finish this fight. Looking a lot like the Wahlberg brother from NKOTB. Donnie Wahlberg, the one from Blue Bloods. At 30 seconds exactly left to go in the 5th round. Head kick blocked, body kick blocked by Usman. 20 seconds remaining in this fight. A valiant effort from Colby Covington, but he is almost at every turn been stifled by Kamaru Usman. 10 seconds left to go in the fight. Missing with the lefts and the rights. Covington gets a decent shot in, but Usman met him too. And we will go to the scorecards in Madison Square Garden, and both men mean mugging each other, motherfucking each other inside the cage.
That was, yeah, so, I mean.
And a hug between Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington. They both went to war, so.
So, I had a 39-36 Usman going into that 5th round because I had a 10-8 in the 2nd. So, by my estimation, there's no way for Covington to win without a finish. Yeah, I'm trying to hear if I can hear what they're saying. Hey, man. Honestly, amazing to see that show of respect from him.
Yeah. Nothing I didn't expect it.
Dan Murgiata telling them to go kiss later.
Shout out to Joseph Tovar. Shout out to Joe Blair. Is this Jim Cramer's son broadcasting? Solid joke. That's a solid joke. Take a look at the chat here. James Skimmerhorn, appreciate your perfect amount of cursing. You're a fucking genius.
Amazing. Yeah, super close fight. I think you have to give it to Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
Clearly, but it was, man, I gotta say, the fact that Covington took the damage and he was 10 seconds away from being finished in that 2nd round to possibly coming back, amazing. Yeah, both fighters hugged after this one.
Mike Kiwatowski saying this is the best UFC in many years. Not wrong. Not wrong at all. Taking a look across here, we've got over 3,600 people watching us. Shout out to Charlie Wilson. Thank you so much. Tom5150, thank you from Dubai. If you're just watching us for the first time or you stumbled across us before and you've not hit the subscribe button yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, ring that notification bell. Let us know what you think and how much fun you're having here tonight, as over 3,000 of you across the Combat Culture Network are joining us live and in living color inside the studios of Combat Culture. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Shakiel Mahjouri and Stephanie Sotilli. Shout out to Ajibe Baton, Tennessee. And we are going to get the official scorecards right now for this main event. All right, after 5 rounds, we are going to the scorecards. The judges score the contest 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46 for Kamaru Usman. 48-47. I
actually saw quite a few media scorecards calling. I saw some media scorecards calling it 48-47 Covington, which I do not agree with. But
what?
Yeah, I do not agree with. But I think you can give the last 2 rounds to Covington. That's
you can give him the 4th. The 5th round it's close to me. That was a close round, but no way that he wins it. No way that he won more than 2 rounds. But a convincing I think Usman really didn't press on the gas after the 4th round.
Yeah.
I think he kind of knew if he was hyper aggressive, he'd get dropped because Covington was throwing some wild punches.
Since some people are still asking for the score, it was unanimous decision Usman, 248-47, 149-46. I had it. What did I have it? I got confused when I started handing out 10-8s. I had it 48-46 for Usman, so 3 rounds to 2, but a 10-8 in the second.
Yeah,
not that my score matters, but in case you're wondering.
It matters to me, and it matters to the people at home. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Kamaru Usman being interviewed right now. We'll be coming back to you at UFC 269. It is getting late here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. But if you've got any questions, any comments, let us know before we get off the air tonight. We'll be leaving you just in a little while. Don Duck, love painting my own picture in my mind with your commentary. We're so glad you guys are doing that. We're so glad that you're a part of this. So glad we're able to entertain you and bring you the fights the only way we know how. Loud, angrily, and just a little toasted. Any questions or things before we go? Shaq, your final thoughts on the night.
Yeah, I was just listening to Usman talk about Colby Covington, the post-fight chat. He said there might still be some bad blood, but you gotta respect someone as tough as Colby who put forward that kind of effort. What a great way to cap off that rivalry, right? So it was so ugly at times, and to end with some mutual respect and a hug and a conversation. And again, something that would have been fight of the night on a card that didn't have Chandler Gaethje. It's nice to see, man. What a great night of fights.
Yeah, this has been the most I've had to work in a very long time. Yeah. And I'm very happy that I was able to call this fight tonight. Thank you so much, Shaq, for being along for the ride. Steph, how you doing over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's eat soup.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we're going to have some soup. My final thoughts on the night. One of the best, it's the best UFC card of the year. Might be the best UFC card since the world came back. Colby Covington being interviewed right now by Joe Rogan. Colby Covington, a great fighter, all things considered, put on one hell of a show tonight. He's got some stuff to figure out in terms of his future. He looks like a dude who took a loss tonight. He did not create a lot of solid opportunities. He was throwing a lot of wild punches. He was chasing ghosts for a little bit throughout the first 3 rounds of this fight. He got more comfortable in the 4th and 5th round, but I think that's because more so Kamaru Usman took his gas off the pedal and wasn't trying to create opportunities for one of those wild blows from Covington to get dropped. I think he wanted to seed a couple of 10-9 rounds and just kind of glide to a victory here tonight. But I don't know, wasn't in the corner, but on a night of amazing fights, nothing disappointed. We had tremendous knockouts. We had Hagler Hearns-esque brawls, and now it's Kamaru Usman and his family and Ali Abdelaziz take a photo inside the cage at Madison Square Garden. We will be taking a leave from y'all, but at UFC 269, we will be back for you on December 11th at 9:45 Eastern Standard Time. And you know what? On Saturday, December 11th, is Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. We got Amanda Nunes coming back. That one's going to be insane. This card for UFC 269 got Leon Edwards taking on Jorge Masvidal, for God's sake. So if you're not wanting to hang out during that card, I don't know what's wrong with you. You got Cody Garbrandt versus Kai Kara-France. You got Sean O'Malley back on the card against Rulen Paiva. Jeff Neal versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, and that's just the prelims. The main card's fucking banana pants, including the main event, the 2 title fights, and so much more. So we'll see you back here on December 11th. right here for UFC 269. For Stephanie Sotilli, for Olive the Fat Baby, Brendan Sokolow will be joining us next time. For Shakiel Mahjouri, I'm Matt Ryan. Until the next time, which will be the next time, this has been Combat Culture. So long. Have a good night, and Baba Booey.
Yeah.